In 2025, the game God-Forsaken Lands was released, but the abilities it granted also worked in the real world. Since then, the world, shaken by disasters, has changed radically. Initially, Ray was just one step away from becoming the strongest. He would never have thought that the person closest to him would betray him. Ray expected this from anyone but his sister, but the sacred artifact he obtained gave him another chance. He became a shadow to take revenge. Now Ray is progressing 100 times faster than in his past life, and he will soon find Sandy. He must walk his path alone and surrender himself to the darkness. He is darkness itself. Ray is truly incredible. He was able to single-handedly clear the ruins of the ancient god, but the eye of justice will still fall on Sandy. But Ray is her brother. He is just a foundling, adopted by her parents. They have no connection. Sandy is right, although Ray has been quite helpful. Without him, they would not have been able to obtain this sacred artifact. Ray raised Sandy after her parents died, risking his life many times for her, but apparently he was wrong. After her parents died, Ray continued to interfere in her life when Sandy and Ben needed protection. He was still useful, but now they no longer need him. Ben will take care of Sandy. Even if they kill Ray, they won't get away with it. Ray cut off his head. After the game was released, a person would find himself in the game world when he fell asleep. The player could spend life energy to use his powers in the real world. The world was plunged into chaos, and Ray did everything so that he and his sister could live. He was still able to reach the ruins of the ancient god, but all his suffering only paved the way for someone else. Ray woke up. This is the real world, but it is dead. He was reborn on the very day this game came out. Sandy came home angry. That day she had a fight with Ray over Ben. Even before the game was released, he was a famous idol, attractive in appearance, but he is a vile bastard who sucks money and pleasure out of his fans. To prevent Sandy from falling for his tricks, Ray forbade her from seeing him, and she accused him of being too controlling. Ray hit her. He's not in the mood to argue with Sandy, but if she doesn't shut up, Ray will shut her mouth himself. This money was left to them by their parents. In their memory, Ray will not stoop to Sandy's level. But from that moment on, she is no longer his sister. Ray missed a lot of opportunities trying to protect her. I wonder how far he can go without this burden on his shoulders. Ray missed this place. When he first came here, he spent a lot of time choosing a class. In his past life, he became a warrior to protect Sandy, but that won't work for him now. The most important things now are reaction and agility. This time Ray will choose the assassin. The Eye of Justice has been activated. He stayed with Ray even after he was reborn. Perhaps it was because of him that he was reborn. Ray unlocked a secret subclass. The synchronization is complete. He became a shadow. This time, his original strength is much higher. The Eye of Justice is a primal force in the universe that transcends any law. In a past life, only 7 years later did a player appear who managed to leave the lands abandoned by God and enter the kingdom of law. You need to get there and achieve the status of a deity. The class selection is complete. Now you need to choose a nickname. Ray will be Shadow. He is transported to the lands abandoned by God, a kingdom of ruins inhabited by countless monsters. This is the city of Rakushka, a safe zone. A lot of people have already gotten into the game. If Ray wants to stay one step ahead, he can't linger. These monsters are too strong, and this is only the first level. Ray has an unusual appearance. The girl offers to join them, but he refuses. The 4 of them couldn't handle the monsters. Apparently he wants to die. We need to keep an eye on him and find out what he's capable of, and then they will watch him die. Lynn has experience in online gaming, so she quickly formed a team. But the first monster easily destroyed them. Shadow's agility stat exceeds the highest possible level. He noticed them, and disappeared into thin air. This is an invisibility skill, and it is unlocked at level 1. They need to go back to the city and figure out how to become stronger. Maybe they'll be able to find secret chests or some NPCs. There's nothing interesting in the shell. It's just a shelter. In this game, weaklings are just food for monsters. When Ray was a warrior, his strength and constitution were increased by 3. But this time the bonus was added to all stats. Most players put everything into strength or intelligence, but this is a big mistake. The key to everything is agility. Monsters deal incredible damage anyway, so the only way to defeat them is to outspeed them. A roar reaches Ray. This is a first-level worm. He devours life energy. Apparently he was the one who killed those 4. Judging by the wounds, they still managed to reduce his health. Ray disappears. He attacks the monster from above. Ray didn't expect to kill him with one blow, even though he hit him in a weak spot. In his past life, he almost died trying to defeat this monster. He killed 4 players and sucked 20 or 30 years of life out of them, so he should have at least 100 years left in him. But Ray only got 54 years. He unlocked the infinite mutation skill. By killing monsters alone, he can earn mutation points to improve his skills. In his past life, Ray had never heard of anything like this, so he'll try to level up his shadow walk and sneak attack. Now he can no longer break invisibility with this level of skill. He could kill even a completely healthy worm with one blow. This ragamuffin single-handedly defeated that monster, It's clear that the game isn't that difficult. With his physical form, the player will defeat 10 monsters. Ray seems a bit tired. Maybe I should carry him. It activates invisibility. He was probably scared of the muscles. Here the players notice a giant spider. This is a spider summoning shepherd, the starting boss with about 1,600 health points. No way for a beginner to cope with him. Ray will see how good his improved skills are. He attacks the shepherd. It was dangerous. It's good that he had pumped up his agility to the maximum. The shepherd is furious. The local monsters will not wait to die. It looks like he's destroying space to find Ray, and his spiders are at the ready. Ray throws a rock at him. As he thought, most of the damage comes from the bonuses from stealth skills. So even a regular stone can cause a lot of damage. You just need to throw the stone at the right moment. Now you need to hide until the duration of the Shadow Walk comes to an end, and attack at the last moment. Player Shadow killed the Bronze Shepherd, and was the first to reach level 2. This is that guy. He leveled up so quickly and even killed the boss, and they couldn't even deal with the worm. The little spiders vanished as soon as Ray killed the shepherd. The Greedy Hands skill scroll significantly increases the amount of loot found. In a past life, a guy belonged to the Godslayers Guild, and became one of the strongest thanks to this scroll. Thanks to infinite mutation, Ray will be able to increase the chance. They skipped the exam yesterday to support Ben. Sandy's brother will be very angry. She should apologize. He takes such good care of Sandy, but she feels like he doesn't. He's always meddling in her business. A crowd gathered outside their classroom. Zach seemed transparent. He said he wanted to take a nap. This happens to people all over the world. They fall asleep and become like ghosts. Ray has a 70% chance of receiving additional loot. To level up Greedy Hands, you need 3 points, but soon the chance will increase to 100%. Very soon, people will understand that all skills and artifacts can be used in the real world. Ray hears voices. Players fight against a fleet-footed maniac. Remember the sun, here is a Ray. This is Wang Ming, they say. As soon as he entered the God-forsaken lands, he assembled a team consisting exclusively of secret builds. Van Ming's build, Holy Warrior, has double the stats of a normal warrior. The secret build of the Mage, the Prophet, deals double damage. The Archer's secret build is a keen marksman, with double the skills of a regular archer. The Cleric's secret build is an Oracle, with healing abilities twice as strong as a regular Cleric's. This boss is too strong. Their attacks barely knock down his health. The Cleric should continue to heal Van. He will distract the monster's attention to himself. He forgot that he was in the middle of the wilderness, and other monsters would come to the noise. This is a Corruptor, a Tier 2 monster, and this is a secret build Ray hasn't seen before. This monster's defense is too strong. He spews out a foul-smelling liquid. It's disgusting and it's too sticky to move properly. The monster is about to pounce on the magician. He is attacked by Ray. The Corruptor was defeated with one blow. Someone decided to help them. Even a level 1 worm takes about 10 seconds, and a level 2 Corruptor is killed in one hit. Another monster killed. They didn't see who it was, but luckily, as long as this stranger was on their side, they had to keep attacking. Only the swift-footed maniac remained. Ray received the poison arrow skill scroll. Meanwhile, the swift-footed maniac attacks Van. The cleric doesn't have enough spell speed. Ray fires a poisonous arrow at the monster. He becomes covered in poison. Poison arrow does not remove the invisibility state. He can fire these arrows while remaining undetected. Van thanks the stranger for saving him. In this wild world, you shouldn't be so trusting. If he ever needs help, he should contact Wang Ming. He looks trustworthy, and the Chinese government is behind him, so Ray can sell unwanted loot through him. Once he's filled his bag to the brim, he'll need to go to the shell and sell everything he doesn't need. The monsters keep coming. Another one appears, the biggest of them all. It produces thorns. It is unclear how to reach the 3rd level to exit the game. You need to assemble a team of 6 or even 10 people, but that won't work either. They moved here when they fell asleep. If they don't get out, their bodies will die from exhaustion. Player Shadow has already leveled up. He must have found out some kind of cheat code. We need to make him tell us about it so that they can at least leave the game. When Lin returns to the real world, she will pay him 10 million. Now Ray has enough mutation points. This is a damn gentleman. It seems to be devouring life energy to mutate to silver rank. And as luck would have it, the inventory is full. Ray won't be able to collect the loot. It's better to mark this point on the map. First he will sell unnecessary items and then come back. Someone offers 10 million for Shadow to help raise the level. People are dying, their lives are shortened, and the rich are trying to solve everything with money. Ray appears. The time for selling artifacts is limited to 10 minutes. Perhaps there is something wrong with Shadow's face, and he doesn't want to show his ugliness. The girl asks how much he charges for the ice skill. This is the Grey Rose, 11th in the shell ranking. Ray takes 100 days of exchange energy. If Grey Rose has money from the real world, let her exchange it for life energy, and then come to Ray. Grey Rose asks her team members to transfer life energy to her. She will return everything to them in money. Ray sold the ice spell skill scroll. Lin finally found him. If he helps her reach the 3rd level, she will repay him generously in the real world. This is Lin Jiang. In her past life, she was the leader of a crime syndicate. She seduced people into selling their life energy for real money, kidnapped them, and killed them. Ray refuses. If she's not going to buy anything, let her move away and not bother him. If they were in the real world, she would have taught him a lesson by now. If she says another word, Ray will kill her until her life energy reaches 0. He sold everything. It's time to get ready. The damn gentleman is waiting for him. All these people who boast about their wealth and origins will soon become nobodies. Shadow dared to threaten Lin. She will kill him when she returns to the real world. Someone calls out to her. His name is Mao Jun. He has reached the 2nd level and could share a couple of secrets for 10 million. For example, to quickly level up, you need to invest all 5 skill points into agility. Mao is not as strong as Shadow, so Lin can only offer him 5 million, he agrees. As Ray thought, the damn gentleman had managed to evolve to silver rank. Ray uses a sneak attack. This monster's health is 2 or 3 times higher than the bronze boss, meaning 2 or 3 poison arrows will be enough. Ray barely managed to dodge the attack with his current level of health and defense. He would have definitely died. You need to wait until the invisibility ends, and then immediately activate the Shadow Walk. It's time. The damn gentleman's health had dropped to almost 0, so his instincts told him to run. Fine, let him die in agony. It's too boring to kill a victim who doesn't resist. Ray leveled up 2 levels at once and earned 4 mutation points. Loot will again almost completely fill the entire inventory. Thanks to Van, they were able to reach the 3rd level. It's a pity that Black Plum couldn't add that guy as a friend. If she had been wearing that beautiful dress, he wouldn't have been able to refuse her. Shadow rose to level 5, and 10 minutes ago he was selling loot here. Now is not the time to think about this. We need to return to the real world. The world will definitely have a hard time, but at least they will try to take care of their loved ones. Van woke up. They asked him to rest. Someone else could have been following the suspect. Van talks about a player nicknamed Shadow. If he's telling the truth, this player was already at level 3 about an hour ago, but he hasn't returned to the real world. He may be reborn. They are often orphans and progress very quickly. This is not a situation to joke about. Many elderly people die shortly after entering the game, and the few who returned reported that dying in the game significantly shortened their lives. Emergency order. Orders to form teams to explore the lands abandoned by God. Annie will be the captain of the first team. Wong will be the vice captain. They can choose their subordinates themselves. According to Van, Shadow doesn't seem like a villain, so we should try to recruit him. In the game, people appear in the same newcomer city. You need to warn your parents as soon as possible. There's so much going on here, and there's been no word from Ray. He hit Sandy, and all she did was skip class to go to Ben's concert. If Ray doesn't apologize to her 1,000 times, Sandy will never forgive him. Luckily, she finally met Ben yesterday. If they get into the game when they fall asleep, then he will end up there too. Sandy will be able to meet him if she gets there. Zack has already reached level 3. I need to ask him how he did it. Goddess Sandy has descended upon him. This is a great chance to get her. At the beginning of the game, you should invest all your skill points into dexterity. Sandy needs to join someone to level up, and then she and Zack will reach the top. The Cursed Ring makes Ray 3 levels stronger. The Shadow Slaughter skill deals 3 hits to each enemy within the radius of attack. There are still some mutation points left. I need to invest them in greedy hands. Now Ray can get loot for 1 monster as if he were getting 3. Everything else is junk, although the Scroll of Battlecry can be sold for a good amount. New monsters appear here. It's level 4 centipedes. Time to experience the Shadow Massacre. It will take at least 2.5 years to transfer all the skills and artifacts into reality. If Ray sells all the unnecessary junk, he will be able to accumulate enough money. Then all that remains for him is to reach level 10. Lin has reached level 3. Now she must fulfill her promise. She's going to the real world right now. Here's her phone number. Mao can sell her his exchange energy. Lin pays 10,000 for each day. It doesn't matter that this energy affects real lifespan. Mao can earn it at any time and exchange it for real money. The shell's spatial gate has been activated. As far as Ray remembers, Ben was supposed to end up in Firefly City, but that's not so important. The main goal of the game is to reach level 10 and enter the Wasteland. This is where the real lands abandoned by God begin. Shadow is selling artifacts again. Last time he sold Grey Rose an ice spell that brought her to 2nd place in the rankings. Ray sold everything in a minute and earned 650 days. Someone got nothing this time too. Black Plum has a space ring. In a past life, it was worth no less than 3,600 days. Black Plum doesn't need energy. She just wants to add Shadow as a friend and asks him to join their team to kill the boss. Ray agrees. The boss has gold status. Black Plum couldn't make out his name. Something like a battered boat. This is a fairly rare boss, but it drops useful artifacts. Every time he appeared, a real war broke out between the guilds. Black Plum ate in the real world and returned to the game, but her crew members were late, so she decided to wander around and notice that boat. There were rumors that Van's team had a girl with the luck of a koi fish who would accidentally find the rarest things. That guy left the city with a girl. It's clear that no man can refuse a beauty. Ray will help defeat the boss. Black Plum will be able to take the items that suit her, but he will take the rest. If there's anything useful in there for the Black Plum crew, maybe Ray can sell it to them at a discount. They go to fight the golden boss. One Ray will be enough. Black Plum can stand aside. Ray disappears. He disappeared, apparently deceived the girl and abandoned her. We need to catch her and have some fun. Ray appears in front of the guys. He attacks them. Only 12 days of exchange energy dropped from the weakest mobs. They were being followed. Ray sent them back to the city. Sandy gets into the game. Ray always followed her like a tail, but at a critical moment he was gone. Soon she would level up and then take care of him properly. The first player is already at level 6. If Sandy joins him, she will level up much faster than Zack with his pathetic 3rd level. They can't fight without a healer. They'll have to find someone to replace them. Sandy heard that they needed a healer. As Ray thought, it was a ghost boat. He will deal with the boss himself. Under the influence of the ghostly rook, the rate of loss of vital energy increases 100-fold. Bosses like these often only exist for a limited time, so it's lucky there are a full 45 minutes left. This should definitely be enough. Ray uses Shadow Slaughter and Poison Arrow. Many people think that this boss's weak point is the skeleton itself or the boat, but in fact, it is the ghostly bells on its nose. However, if you hit them, the boss will begin to interact with the water surface to carry out an attack of terrifying power. The water pillars deal massive damage, and it's lucky that Ray has incredible agility. After a large-scale attack, the ghost will summon water monsters. They will fight mercilessly, leaving no chance for escape. The main ghost will summon a new dozen every 3 minutes. But since Ray was in an invisible state from the start, they won't be able to detect him. All that remains is to find a suitable angle and kill them all with one attack. The shadow appears and disappears in a split second. The boss doesn't even have time to counterattack. He will die soon. She doesn't have to do anything, just wait for him to revive. That scoundrel disgraced them. She hides on a rock while Shadow fights the monster. When the boss's health drops to half, he will release a colossal burst of energy. Ray won't be able to handle this and will freeze for 6 seconds. He died. This idiot decided he could handle the gold boss alone. This monster only has half health left. Now they will finish it off. They died as soon as they came closer. Ray wonders where all these energy spheres come from. There was a bunch of noisy guys here, but they were all killed by the water columns. When this boss's health drops below half, he can teleport. But Ray knew his habits too well. This guy is fighting a monster again. We need to take them both down. Black Plum uses Divine Lightning. This is that sorceress. Now she'll dance for them. Fighting this boss alone isn't easy. The fight drags on and attracts unnecessary spectators. It was a good fight. Shadow is the first player to kill a gold rank boss. He is definitely the strongest. If he helps Sandy level up, she will be able to see Ben very soon. We need to kill this guy and take all the loot for ourselves. One of the players shoots a Ghost Eagle arrow. Ray didn't think these guys had the skill to deactivate invisibility, but his skill level was higher than theirs. He's not here. Apparently he got scared and ran away. For now, we need to protect the loot. This guy's ownership will expire in 5 minutes. Here, Ray attacks them. It's much quieter here now. Ray has enough points to upgrade Greedy Hands. He received Ghost Bells. Then Ray hears Black Plum calling for help. There is no other way. They will give her fabulous pleasure. Black Plum jumps off the cliff. She no longer needs saving. She has already returned to the city. Ray will focus on offensive skills so he can kill stronger bosses and get better loot. Shadow Carnage damage increased by 15 times. Thanks to Ray's Greedy Hands, he obtained 11 gold items and scrolls, 2 platinum artifacts, and 1 platinum skill. These daggers have decent base stats. With this armor, most players won't even be able to scratch Ray. It's better to make the armor invisible. Then other players will think that he is wearing regular assassin equipment. Ray will sell everything else to Van at a 10% discount. Ray meets a group of players. Seeing him, they run away. Ray attacks. The player is at fault. It won't happen again. It's unlikely he thought about this when he attacked others. Ray killed too many players, so he gets the first level of killer status. The Shadow has returned. As an apology for what happened, they bought him this assassin skill. Ray takes the skill and leaves. We need to gather everyone they know and attack him. This guy must have some kind of secret. If they find him in the real world, they will kidnap him and turn him into a slave to collect life energy. John will send a woman to gain his trust. Here's the share of Black Plum. Her power and mana regeneration rate have increased. She came across a cave while running away from those idiots. Maybe it's an entrance to the ruins. Ray's generosity paid off. Black Plum marked the entrance on the map. Shadow will find a stone slab in the bushes. At first he wanted to find a place to farm, but now he won't have to do that. All the ruins are chock full of bronze and silver monsters. Ray finds the entrance to the ruins. Successfully clearing the cursed ruins and the Temple of Faith will reward you with a special item or skill scroll. There are frescoes here, which means this is a Temple of Faith. This is the temple of the ancient god of justice. Van fights the swift-footed maniac. He strikes. Sandy doesn't know how to treat. The monster attacks again. Sandy is scared. She can neither defend herself nor use skills. This is the third time they have died in an hour. Shadow gave Black Plum two interesting things. With it, their team won't die. They screwed up themselves and blamed Sandy. Ray moves on. Before him are the devoted believers of the ancient god, condemned. Even with the use of a sneak attack and breaking invisibility, they lost a small amount of health. Perhaps they sensed the aura of the Eye of Justice. Here the monsters turn and run to someone else. There are two silver monsters here. They can't even handle one. We have to run. It looks like this is the Grey Rose. There are more than 100 days of exchange energy here. Ray can't find either the trap or the treasure. He kills the condemned. The epic level is just incredible. There's even an assassin's trinket here, the Believer's Medallion. This is a hidden mechanism. It is used to open the elevator. It seems Ray went down 300 or 400 meters. These are temple catacombs. There are plenty of traps here, and Ray will die from any of them. But since humans can be used as cannon fodder in this game, they won't cause much trouble. Ray calls upon the condemned man. It makes exploring the catacombs much easier. The monster steps on the trap. A rock falls on him. We'll have to wait to summon a new one. Those two monsters disappeared. There is no vital energy either, but at least now nothing threatens them. Grey Rose caught a glimpse of a man, and it seemed to her that he was talking to monsters. Ray has been wandering here for 3 hours now. This must be the end of the catacombs. He orders another monster to open the doors. He can't do it. Ray tries it himself. Then the doors open. The chest is covered in vines, and there is some NPC standing next to it. This is the first time Ray has encountered something like this. She disappears. The same thing happens with the vines. The chest should contain something epic, but it could still be a mimic or a trap. Ray tells the condemned man to open the chest. It has an epic assassin skill. All thanks to Black Plum, Ray will sell the rest to her team. A crowd of fans greets him in the city. It looks like the portals to other newbie cities have finally started opening. So now we can head to Firefly City. Ray disappears. He's back. Ray sees Sandy. Because of her, Wang Ming's team will collapse. You have to be careful. Ray can't reveal his true identity. So this is Shadow. Just by looking at him you can tell he is the strongest. They can't afford to spend 2,200 days of energy, but Ray allows them to pay later. There is nothing here for the priest. Sandy asks if Shadow has anything suitable for her. He disappears. In fact, he has golden artifacts and priestly skills, but he is not going to give such valuable things to Sandy. They need to find another priest for their team. Miss Suo should be suitable. Megan Suo, the leader of the Godslayer Guild, was the only priest capable of killing the gold boss single-handedly. And it seems she is from Firefly City, just like Ben. Ray comes there. This bastard Ben's son is dragging crowds of fans around with him. This is the Valley of Tears, where the heat demons and captives live. Players fight the heat demon. The situation is strange. Most are fighting with each other. This is Ben. He framed one of the players and stole his life energy. This time he is definitely finished. No one dares touch him. In his past life, Ben forced his fans to choose a mage class, and then took away their artifacts and skills. Ben prays to God that the monster dies quickly. The world should be filled with love, not violence. If they kill this creature, Ben will become #1 in the rankings. He's definitely using cheats. Ray has so many helpers and he's still at level 7. Ray blows Ben's head off. Then he kills his fans. He killed the two-headed heat demon and many players. This is Shadow. He destroyed this freak's bitches, which did them a great service. Shadow attacked them while they were busy fighting. He is pure trash. The archer wants to join Ben. She has the Eagle Eye skill. Ben only wants mages, and she has too low DPS. She's ruining their rating. Love can overcome everything. Ben feels her love, no matter that she is an archer. There is enough love for everyone. The Shadow kills people on a whim. He will pay for everything. It seems he has decided to make enemies of himself in the form of this madhouse. Killing the boss and the players gave Ray 1,400 days of exchange energy. Business is finished. It's time to go back. Ben's fan wants to attack Ray from behind. However, for some reason she misses. Ray is surrounded. Let him surrender. They will avenge Ben. There's no point in using invisibility. They'll find him anyway. They think they have found the Shadow. But this is one of the fans. Oh well, she's not even a mage, which means she never really loved Ben. Suddenly something constrains the fans. Ray attacks them. If this was Shadow's doing, Ben should have seen it. He's a corpse. Ben covers himself with a magical shield. But it breaks. Ray killed Ben again. He is full of vital energy. But the girls have almost nothing. Apparently they gave everything to this idiot. Ben only has 500 days of exchange energy left. The archer can only detect those whose level is not higher than 1. Shadow stole Ben's boss and killed him twice. Maybe he's jealous of his beauty. For their own safety, they will change their farming locations. After a while, Ray returns. Ben's gang isn't here. Maybe they went to another city. Ray asks the player if he knows where Byung-sun went. They went there? Shadow must kill them. Let him just spare his girlfriend. Her nickname is Kitten Fei Bao. It's stupid to waste time searching without knowing where to look. It would be good to find Megan Suo. Someone passes by Ray. This is her. Shadow would like Megan to help him. If she finds Ben's son for him, he will sell her this golden artifact for cheap. Megan isn't sure she can afford it, but 500 days is enough. She meets Shadow for the first time, but for some reason his aura seems familiar. Megan releases a white bird to find Ben. She found him. You need to add Shadow as a friend. Continue tracking them and report their location. The Shadow notices something. He asks Megan if there are other trees like this in the area. There is another one 100 meters ahead, and another one 100 meters to the left. I wonder what this symbol is. Ray finds a jade treasure chest. To unlock the blessing of the ancient gods, you need to find and activate all the symbols. Ray received the Blooming Curse skill scroll. With this skill, when killing players, he will be able to suck out all their energy. He will kill Ben until he logs out, and then he will come out into the real world and kill him for real. They have gone too far. The Shadow won't be able to track them. He'll get what he deserves when Ben levels up. Someone is fighting with the boss. These seem to be JD fans. They wouldn't dare ruin Ben's rating. Great, they have reinforcements. The fans start killing the players. Such is the lot of JD fans. The whole world will submit to Ben's son. He almost died at the hands of those cruel JD fans. Ray appears. He kills Ben again, and activates the Blooming Curse. A flower grows from Ben's neck. Shadow again. Perhaps his girlfriend is one of Ben's girls, or he did something to annoy him. Ben is losing metabolic energy. Shadow grew some kind of flower on it, and he sucks something out of it. You need to log out. It's time for them to leave the game. Ben will buy energy and exchange it for equipment. Ray killed too many players, so he gets the 4th level of killer status. Ben logged out, as did his fans. This thing is worth at least 500 days, but Shadow will sell it to Megan for half the price on one condition. Megan says she will not pay with her body. Shadow wanted to ask her to join a team. They finally finished them off. Sandy must quickly neutralize the poison. She misses. Fondit. Sandy needs to be replaced, but everyone standing has already joined other teams. Here Shadow offers him to accept the priestess of the white bird into the team. She is quite strong. Since he recommends her, they will accept her. There are too many people in the shell, so they will move to another zone, but it is too dangerous for Sandy, so she will not go with them. There is no time. We have to run. They owe Shadow another 500, but Captain Annie Lee will give that to him when she enters the game. Here she is. In her past life, Annie was in the top 20. Ray meets for the first time the one who would surpass him. It appears that the Shanghai authorities supply it with energy. She acts like a fool, but in reality all her actions are very reasonable and strictly verified. The life energy from the game is real, and if it reaches 0, they will die for real. Betsy gave all her exchange energy to Ben. Sally only has a couple of years left, and because of killing other players, she received the status of a killer and began to lose twice as much. Lisa has only 1 day of energy left. Ben buys life energy. If you ask him, he will definitely help. You need to dress in a full costume of his fan. Lisa hurries to Ben. Sandy is back in the real world. She can sell a day of energy for 15,000. Now she has 200 days. The Shadow is hunting Ben. He has killed him 3 times already. If the life energy reaches 0, the player will die for real. Ben urgently needs help. The girls from Shanghai can sell him their life energy. Now he is in Dajiang Square. It's not far from here. Sandy's energy will be useful to Ben. Ray has reached level 10. He achieved it first in the world, when 7 level 10 players appeared in Shanghai. A portal to the continent abandoned by the god opened. The strongest man after Ray is still at level 7. For now, you can return to reality to sort out your affairs. Ray is back. It can transfer class, equipment, and skills into the real world. Now he is twice as strong as an ordinary human, and his agility exceeds human capabilities. Ben is buying up life energy on Masa. Ray receives a message from his supervisor. He writes that a young lady has her eye on him, and he is acting like a complete idiot. Ray blocks it. He throws away the phone. Soon they will understand what the lands abandoned by God are. A crowd of Ben's fans gathers at Dajiang Square. Lin has already sent people to find the Shadow in reality. He will be offered a sum that he simply cannot refuse. He will come to the meeting place, and then he will be caught. It seems Lin's company has used a similar method before to force people to work for free. In fact, they are worthless blockheads. But Ben is a different matter. All these girls are ready to sacrifice their lives for him. If the game energy drops to 0, they will die in the real world too. Stop mindlessly draining your energy into Ben. He has brainwashed them. He regrets that the news of his energy purchase may have caused inconvenience to someone. Ben really appreciates their support. In this difficult time, they must unite to fill the community with positive energy. He decided to spend all his hard-earned wealth on purchasing life energy, also that all people could live in a world full of love and happiness. No one brainwashed them. They sincerely want to help Ben. There is no doubt about him. The game cannot reflect reality. Lisa has 1 day of energy left, and yet she is here. If they don't have the resolve to sacrifice themselves for Ben, their words of love are worthless. They will give him everything. Ben is grateful to Lisa for her sincere feelings. She is ready to do anything for him. Then something pierces Ben's head. Half of his head is blown off. He is dead. We need to get out of here. When Ben died, a ball of life energy appeared from his body, and then immediately disappeared. Someone picked it up. Now it's Lin's turn. Star idol Byung-sun died in Dajiang Square, and some fans committed suicide near his body. Sandy can't believe it. It seems like someone was hunting him. Shadow killed him in the game a bunch of times. There can't be any mistake. He's the killer. There is no more light in Sandy's life. But she wants to get closer to the Shadow and become stronger at any cost. From this day on, she will live for one purpose: to kill the Shadow. The game takes a lot of energy, and hunger is still there. If Ray doesn't show up for work, he'll be fired and not even paid. Tina has a good character, although she is weak, which makes her an object of ridicule. She also has nothing to do at work. It's better for her to go to the game. Ray's boss is a real pain in the ass. All she does is have fun with guys. She's crazy about everything Western, including men. In the past, she left China to organize an American guild, and tried to bury her homeland with all her might. Ray must deal with her before she leaves the country. Sandy calls. She thought Ray was already dead, but since he is alive, she wants to notify him that she has earned enough to buy a house, so she does not want to see him anymore. If that's all, he hangs up. It's time to come back. Very soon people will understand that gaming skills can be transferred to reality. Sandy has no intention of apologizing to Ray. She sold the life energy to the Chang group for $2 million. She bought a house where she could live with Shadow. Zack took out the assassin skill scroll that Sandy had asked for. Soon she won't have to deal with trash like him. If Shadow needs an assassin skill scroll, Sandy will give it to him for free. She will heal Shadow and help him cut up monsters. She will make him believe in her care for him. Perhaps over time, he will even fall in love with her. And when Sandy gets strong enough, she'll rip his eyes out. Shadow says that her skill is trash. He doesn't need it. This boss is stronger than they thought. This is a golden arthropod, the boss of the 8th level. Ray's invisibility is useless against him. Ray attacks the boss. He can't attack it from stealth. So many damage bonuses just don't work. The Shadow's attack reduced the boss's health by 1/6, and they couldn't even scratch him. He has lightning-fast reactions and a complete understanding of the enemy's actions. It was like he'd fought this boss a million times. In his past life, Ray and Sandy were never able to defeat him. But now Ray understands that he needs to guess his moves and feel the rhythm. Compared to the inevitable attack of the Golden Rook, his blows are much easier to deal with. He runs away. Ray blows his head off. He received an ultraviolet shield that can give him a 3rd layer of invulnerability. After killing this boss, his survivability increased significantly. There is one golden skill for the mage. Ray will sell it for 800 days. One player saw that the golden skill of the 5th level was sold for several times less. It's level 7, so the price is decent. Grey Rose buys a skill. Shadow has something for sale. Wong asks if he killed Ben's son. Ray answers in the affirmative. Being his friend, Van knew that he was leaving the game. The time and method of murder point to him. Now is the perfect opportunity to test the Chinese authorities' reaction to the use of these abilities in reality. Ben and Lin were plotting against the Shadow and were also kidnapping other players and forcing them to work for them, so basically, killing them was self-defense. They don't know his real identity, so they hope to continue their cooperation. As long as he can sell them skills and equipment, he should take advantage of it. While they struggle with silver monsters, Shadow gets platinum and jade loot. With these skills and equipment, strong teams will emerge in Shanghai. The Dajiang group is holding many players captive. They are planning to rescue them. Perhaps Shadow wants to join. He will refuse, but he has something to tell them. He actually used gaming skills to kill those two. If they reached level 10, they could do the same. They must understand what this means. They need to split up to level up. They will level up faster separately. Shadow opened the trades again, but this time he was buying, not selling. 30 days for information on the location of the silver boss, 100 for the gold one. The young lady is willing to pay him 300 million plus shares of Dajiang Group if he agrees to accompany her. Apparently Mao wasn't out of the game yet. Shadow finished off his mistress and Ben's son. Lin wanted to grab Shadow in the real world, but he killed her. It served her right. Mao was taken in by the money and decided to cooperate with her. But when he arrived at the meeting place, he was knocked out. He woke up in a basement, where he was tortured and forced to collect energy for them and lure new victims. This is the heiress of the Chang Group, Cheryl Chang. You need to stay away from her. She killed a lot of players. There is nothing special about this game. Because of her, Cheryl had to miss the flight. Now she would have been in America enjoying her boys. The idiot Ben's son was killed. She tried to have fun with him, but he came after a minute. They say it was Shadow who took him out, even though he's a local. But being number 1 in the rankings sparks Cheryl's interest. He probably won't be interested in money, but he won't be able to refuse 3,000 days of energy. He'll just have to deal with one person. Cheryl will never forget the look on Ray's face when he turned her down. Next time we need to treat Zack earlier. He almost got killed. He's not dead, so don't yell. Sandy's hunger has reached 90%. She'll have to log out to eat. When she met Shadow, she started acting too arrogant. All deliveries are closed, there are no couriers available. Ray always cooked for Sandy before. She didn't even have to think about it. It's just food. Freedom is much more important. 4 silver bosses in an hour, not bad. The loot from one of these can be sold for 3,500 days. There are no platinum bosses near the newbie cities, so gold is the ceiling. Ray will always be a few steps ahead, and he will be the one to finish off the first platinum boss. Someone calls out to him and says there is business. Murder in reality, they pay well. Ray ignores the guy. This is a simple guy named Ray Lan. Shadow killed Ben's son. Shadow asks what Ray did wrong. It doesn't matter, he'll get paid for 3,000 days. Ray hasn't seen this guy before. It's not him who wants him dead, but the one behind him. The only person who was upset with Ray even before the game and has such a huge amount of money is Cheryl Chang. But if she just wanted to kill him, she would have already done it, which means her main goal is a connection with the Shadow. He will do it, but he will take 50% advance payment and choose the time of the murder himself. Ready. So much arrogance from someone who also works for Cheryl. Then someone calls out to Ray again. The girl heard that he buys information about bosses. She knows where to find one gold one. This is the Plague Monger. He is hiding in the north. The Plague Doctor is truly a golden boss. He's in this cave. The team dealt with the rest of the mobs. They came. Ray gives the girl the promised energy. She must warn him that this is a trap. As soon as he enters the fight, people will appear who want to kill him. Her warning is also part of the plan. When they arrive, she will stop them and thus gain the Shadow's trust. She was forced, but she couldn't help but tell him the truth. Whoever was behind this was blackmailing her. This is Dan Fox, his nickname is Shan Yun. Apparently, the same one who tried to steal the Ghost Rook from Ray, and then wanted to palm off his skill. It's better to pull out this weed so that it doesn't get in the way. Ray uses their plan against them. The damage from the Plague Lord's poison was too great. 3 teams of 18 people couldn't take away even 5% of his health. Ray rushes to attack. He took off 2/3 of the boss's health with one hit. He won't finish him off, yet it's worth waiting until Dan's dogs come to their deaths themselves. Apparently it's them. This little girl has to pretend to stop them. She uses a golden shield. Now it is clear why she was given such a task. Ray attacks the players. He launches a blooming curse. Someday the girl will find out where Dan lives and tell Shadow. If he needs any other help, he can contact us at any time. Now it's clear how she got involved in all this. These little people have much less energy than the gold boss, and they do nonsense instead of leveling up. Ray hadn't seen assassin skills in a long time. This is a moment of darkness, a platinum skill. The blade lights up with black light, blinding opponents. This way, Ray will be able to double his damage even without activating invisibility. Just a little more, and he will pump up his greedy hands to a legendary level. To improve a class, you need about 10,000 experience points. You can get them from regular mobs. Ready. The Shadow class has been improved. With this upgrade, Ray's powers tripled. 7 people in Shanghai have reached level 10. The teleportation portal to the Forgotten Continent will open in 10 minutes. The leaderboard is full of familiar faces, and the effects of trading are finally starting to show. The main members of the Dajang group have been arrested, except for the 3 who are in the game. Someday they will still have to return to reality to avoid dying of hunger. Shadow played a major role in today's success. He not only passed on information about the criminals, but also revealed the possibility of using gaming skills in reality. Incidents are already occurring all over the world, and the death toll has already exceeded 1,000. This guy is very important to China. It turns out that Shadow is such a noble hero. No need to be modest. The government has told us everything. The authorities are whitewashing him, apparently so that their connection with him does not compromise them. All this is not so important. Ray's main goal is the Forgotten Continent. This is where the real game begins. Everything is as it was in the past life. All players, when they first find themselves on the Forgotten Continent, find themselves in ruined cities. A monster appears. Ray attacks. There are no safe zones here. Monsters attack at any time and from everywhere. But if you find a refuge hidden in the ruins, you can establish a stronghold and establish control over a certain territory. These are the ruins of Shanghai. The same earthworms that Ray fought appear. Megan activates her spiritual shield. He shields Van from the blow. Local mobs are stronger than silver bosses from the newbie territory. We need to finish off these creatures while they are tied up. They did it. This place is teeming with monsters. There are no safe zones. We must try to find the Shadow. Megan sees a light trail to the northwest. It's loot. We need to run. Shadow has probably cleared that area. Mobs die in no time. This is an ideal place for farming. This is the shelter. Beneath these ruins lies a palace that was only discovered in the middle of the previous game life. Before this shelter was discovered, it was full of mechanical mobs and bosses. In his past life, Ray assembled 54 elite fighters, and even then they barely managed to survive. But this time, one Ray will be enough. These are elemental spirits, golden monsters of the 12th level. While they are blinded, attacks deal extra damage. The monsters in the main hall have been destroyed, but there are still plenty of rooms and halls here. Once the mobs are destroyed, a guardian boss will appear. This place seems very familiar. These are the ruins of New York. Things are bad. There are no monsters in sight. You can take a rest here. It was lucky that Shadow had already cleared the place. Otherwise, they would have had to return to the newcomer's city. We need to contact the Shadow. He finally figured it all out. Van's team found loot that he didn't pick up. They wait for the Shadow in an abandoned bunker. And here comes the guard. This is Facer, the strongest monster in the city ruins. Last time, his thunderous attack almost cost Ray his life. But this time it will be different. If this lightning hits him, he's finished. But as long as he is on guard, the guard won't get him. This time he won't give him a single chance. Ray took away 250,000 health points from him. Now Facer will move on to the second phase. He becomes invulnerable and begins throwing ball lightning. In their past life, this attack wiped out their team, after which Sandy refused to participate in the next raid, and strangely enough, they succeeded without her. Each destroyed sphere deals damage. After they are destroyed, the boss will enter the third phase. In it he uses constant area attacks. There are constant discharges on the ground, so the only option is to attack from the air. Ray killed Facer. He was the first in the world to kill a platinum boss, and became the keeper of Purgatory. The shelter can also be used as a storage facility, and everything from here can be taken out into reality. From the beginning of the game, real-world weapons began to rust and deteriorate. Since then, all earthly conflicts have been conducted solely through gameplay. Shelters could create a magical barrier. Many people have come and gone from Ray's life, all with their own problems. This time he will be alone until the very end. In the newcomer's territory, Sandy's team fights another monster. He kills Sandy. It's unclear how one could fail to dodge such a gigantic thing. If the tank had taken the damage, Sandy wouldn't have been hurt. But it was an area of effect attack, so he couldn't take the damage. The tank escaped, and now this creature is chasing Molly. She died too. They have very little energy left. They need to hunt mobs. Player Shadow was the first in the world to kill a platinum boss. Thanks to Facer, he reached level 11. Now he will loot not 3 but 5 times more. Ray summons a follower and orders him to gather all the loot into one pile. Now he can absorb non-exchangeable energy from the air. Many high-level areas and monsters suck it out, and this effect will allow it to be sucked back in immediately. Good news, Dan finally logged out. His family gathers at the Jiangnan restaurant. They bought a lot of energy. If Shadow doesn't finish him off, he'll finish Linda off. Here is the Shadow. There are 30 basic and bronze items here. Annie valued the loot he left behind at 1,000 days, so she'll pay 2,000 right away. Here are silver, gold, and platinum items for 18,000 days. There is a staircase under the monument in the center of the city if they go down it. They will find a teleportation portal to the city of newbies. Annie did say that Shadow was reborn, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to know. Maybe she will seduce him. Last time Ray transferred Shadow Walk into reality, now he can transfer several more skills. Now his powers in reality are almost the same as in the game. Cheryl Cheng knows his address, so it's best to get out of here. Greedy hands replace suitcases for him. Dan should be at a restaurant 15 kilometers from here. At Ray's speed, 10 minutes would be enough for him. It is clear that gaming skills and life energy influence reality. This is a good opportunity for their family. Their goal is to level up to level 10. Then they can spread their family's influence in reality. The damn old man has one foot in the grave, but he still clings to the role of head of the family. Dan will force Shadow to reveal his secrets, and then he will become the strongest in the world. He has already found a girl who will help them uncover Shadow's true identity. And now they will raise their glasses to the Fox family. Ray didn't think they would be armed. Shadow Walk and Ultraviolet Shield wouldn't be able to block every shot, and he hadn't yet transferred the armor. You have to be more careful. Ray tells the follower to go inside and kill everyone. The silver monster should have enough stamina to withstand even direct shots. He attacks. The guards start shooting. But this doesn't stop the monster. He attacks the head of the family. Dan tries to escape. He will be safe once he enters the game. Ray appears. He blows Dan's head off. Blooming Curse activated. Not only were all the corpses and blood erased, but their lifespans were also altered. And Ray's life reached 2,327 years. Someone asks to call the police after hearing gunshots and screams in a restaurant. The police find the restaurant empty. Nobody came out from there. The next target is the Chang Company. However, their headquarters moved to America even before the game appeared, and only Cheryl remained in the ruins. From Shanghai to the ruins, there are almost 300 kilometers. We need to find transportation. Ray returns to the game. Black Plum has found the entrance to the catacombs, but it is guarded by a gold-level spirit. On the way to the city, they made a detour to avoid the crowd, but noticed that there were fewer people. They wandered for half a day until Black Plum fell into a pit, a special area of the catacombs. They entered and found the entrance blocked by the 12th level boss. It's strange how one can fall into such a huge well while walking. Ray entered the grave of hatred. The boss, the spirit of hatred, appears. In his past life, Ray had never encountered mobs like this. It's no wonder Annie and the boys ran away. This boss has strong defense, just in case Ray will finish him off with a pierce. The boss exploded. There would have been nothing left of Ray if the blurry shadow hadn't worked. Ray now has a shadow blade, the basic skill of an assassin. Shadow Carnage has a 5-meter radius and works in a straight line, making it very useful if Ray is surrounded. We should probably destroy a few more catacombs. Sandy and Molly are killed again. Sandy is a brainless piece of shit, and it's because of her that they lose every time. If Zack finds her at school, he will kill her on the spot. Molly had heard that in the town where her parents lived, there was a community organization that helped beginners learn the game. Let Molly go there herself. Sandy returns to reality. She asks one of her friends to help her level up. He can take her to the next level for a fee. He wants to see with his own eyes the skills of the school goddess in bed. Sandy writes to John that she always liked him, but she could not reciprocate because of her brother's supervision. But now, having broken ties with him, she can finally be with John. If she abandoned her brother, she can easily send him away too. She writes to several other guys, and they all send her away. Ray wouldn't have abandoned her. She needs to ask him for help. Sandy comes to his house. After an apology and a few kind words, he will definitely forgive her. She will pretend to be vulnerable and wait for him to perfect her skills. And then Sandy will send him away forever. Ray doesn't open. Then Sandy kicks down the door. There is no Ray, no things, no furniture in the apartment. Sandy tries to call Ray, but the phone is unavailable. Along the way, Ray killed over 200 mobs and several bronze and silver bosses. The follower opens the coffin. From there appears a monster made of blackness. He kills the follower. This is the gold boss of the deadly miasma. It has no physical form, making it immune to physical attacks. In a past life, this boss was released and the poison spread throughout the area. Ray uses the Shadow Blade. The boss core is here. Ray killed the deadly miasma. Getting through the catacombs wasn't easy, but the loot was worth it. Ray received the Riding Bell artifact, which summons a ghostly night wolf. It can be ridden and fought on. It is both a riding horse and a battle pet, and importantly, has the effect of invisibility while riding. You need to reach level 15 to extend the life of the beast. The Zhanghai Arena is a huge area with 2 dungeons, and the surrounding area is dangerous, perfect for a quick boost. This is a paradise for the powerful. I can't even believe they were able to take down this boss. As a marksman, it would be easier for the mayor of Zhanghai's son, Matthew Niliang, to deal the finishing blow to the beast, but his status does not allow him to do such things. He heard that the player Shadow commits murders not only in the game. It's better to set a trap and find out his true identity. Such people only feel safe if they are being used by officials. It's not that Shadow is asking them to hunt. It's that they have to hunt for him. That's the only way they can be sure that they can start cooperating with him. Matthew must have dropped his brains somewhere. They, people without education, dare to say something to him. The boss dropped a piece of gold priest gear, a piece of silver gear, and a silver skill book. Wong heard about the incident at the Jiangnan restaurant. Shadow might be involved in this. They don't know what's on his mind. He might be a serial killer. Annie also suspects that he is involved in the family's disappearance, but there is no evidence of his involvement. And even if he is involved in this, she would still prefer to work with him. Something like an arena was discovered ahead. All the monsters inside were dead. Shadow must have trained here. Their official team's rating has dropped significantly, so they can only rely on him. Matthew can turn invisible too, he just needs more time. Ray appears riding a wolf. Matthew wet himself out of fear. As usual, they can take all the things that are lying on the ground. The damned hunter and his dog disgraced Matthew. This time, Ray cleared the arena and acquired a golden skill book. Silent stealth will enhance both invisibility and strength. This is a rogue's pendant, an assassin's decoration. Ray now has level 4 stealth. No one will be able to notice him. Something is collapsing ahead. The silhouette of a monster can be seen behind the building. This is a Steel Maiden. The last time she appeared in the ruins of Zhanghai, more than 4,000 people died. In fact, it is the guardian of the church sanctuary, the second largest shelter in the ruins of Zhanghai. The Steel Maiden destroys everything around her. This is Chen Wuming. This deceitful and evil man is constantly losing and will do anything to escape. When the Templars, Chen's guild, recruited knights, they signed a contract with the leader for safety, but were subject to a lifetime tax of 50%. Now Chen won't escape. Ray approaches the Steel Maiden. He attacks the players. Chen asks why Shadow would kill his people if they had nothing against him. That's because Ray doesn't eat beef. It activates the blooming curse. They have no lives left. We need to go somewhere else and make up for lost time. The blooming curse consumed 4 days of Sandy's exchange energy, and 1 year of non-exchange energy. With such a short lifespan, she's on the brink of death, so she decides to join the Templars. At the first stage, there shouldn't be any difficulties with the Steel Maiden. Ray disappears. The Steel Maiden brandishes blades. Ray will perform physical attacks with a fixed point or range. He uses the Gift of Mercy and the Blade of Plague. Then the piercing. After losing half of the blood, the sealed demon will awaken in the Steel Maiden. All damage will be returned to the attacker in the same amount. Because of the shadow, the boss entered the second phase. This is a platinum boss. He was summoned by the Templars, and then the shadow appeared. The Steel Maiden has a weak spot in her second stage. After an attack, her invulnerability is temporarily disabled. While she's attacking, Ray will be able to attack from behind, but he will still take damage from the invulnerability if he uses his skills. The players have been looking up to him for a long time now. Maybe he will get some benefit from them. We need to assess the situation. Shadow fought the boss one-on-one, but disappeared after the second stage. His location is not recorded. He probably left the area. We need to continue to keep watch and report if the shadow shows up. The guy was definitely tired of living. He decided to go against the platinum boss alone. In the first city, he killed the gold boss without receiving a single scratch, which explains why his nickname is First Defender. He dodges the blade, and he continues to masterfully dodge attacks. But for some reason, the boss's health decreases after each throw. The First Defender's strongest point is his attack. The next blow will penetrate 50% of the enemy's defense. This will be quadruple damage. The boss has a third of his health left. Moonlight Blade is the First Defender's best attack. Here, all the damage he inflicted returns to him. But he attacked, and the boss had very little health left. The boss made so many moves, and the First Defender just wanted to show off. All this time, Ray was dealing blows, resulting in the boss's health being reduced by 2/3. And this fool dealt one powerful blow, thereby condemning himself to death. The Steel Maiden is going to the sanctuary to regain her health. Ray's efforts will be in vain if he allows her to return to the church. These people are scared to death and won't dare approach her. Ray can't let her go. It was Shadow. Perhaps he was the one who carried out all the attacks. They thought that the First Defender was a great master, but in fact, he turned out to be a clown. Ray activates a level 10 ultraviolet shield. Without him, he would already be dead. Some player wants to take his loot. Ray won't let him do that. This First Defender is an interesting guy. Ray won't curse him. It will gradually absorb with an ultraviolet shield and hit with Shadow Massacre. The Shadow has gotten too carried away. He killed the Steel Maiden. A single piece of Pearl-level equipment provides better protection than a full set of armor. And Assassin's Instinct allows you to see a person's silhouette while invisible. Ray can now hit an enemy with his eyes closed. Annie appears with her team. It's hard to believe that Shadow leveled up to level 13 overnight. Annie buys 45 million days. There is one more thing that can be sold, but it is well hidden. There is no safe zone in the Zhanghai ruins, so this place can be used as a base. You can store all your supplies in such a shelter. Annie is talking about the shelters that drop from gold bosses. Officials have already taken out one mid-level shelter. The key to the church sanctuary fell from the Steel Maiden. This shelter covers an area of 800 acres. In a past life, he would have sold this shelter for 2,000 years. Annie wants to ask him for help. 7 gold-tier bosses have appeared in Darkmoon City, and Annie's team asks Shadow to take them down. It is unlikely that they would have turned to him if they could have managed on their own. Shadow is very smart. They found a way to kill one boss, but he resurrected. Perhaps an ancient family curse is to blame. Ray doesn't even want to think about the consequences if this board is involved. Annie is a very honest girl. The drop from 7 gold bosses can be sold for 40 or 50 years. Sandy just joined the guild and is already trying to seduce the leader. Let her just come close to him. They will rip out her veins. She seems to be involved in some kind of trouble after joining the Templar Guild. There were many similar boring power games in her past life, but Ray always looked after Sandy. Now she can enjoy life in all its colors. Under the huge statue in the center of Zhanghai, there is a secret room from which you can return to the first city. However, there is an entrance fee. Over time, the first city will turn into a more developed area. Mobs will evolve into bosses, and shelters will be filled with treasures. Ray teleports to Darkmoon City. It's lively here, but there are a lot of old people. According to the agreement, the woman will be transferred to the 3rd level. There have been updates, so now she has 72 days. Once they form a team, they will destroy monsters and receive additional lives, some of which they will give to her. They should be ashamed to demand money from a poor old man. They will help her level up, but first she must help them. The woman is outraged that they are recruiting who knows who into Shei's dreams. Ray grabs the woman by the collar. He kills her. Players can take her days. At first, the Dream Shahi Guild was involved in social activities, helping the elderly survive in the lands abandoned by God for free. This guild is considered the largest in the country. In a future full of chaos, such people are worth their weight in gold. As long as they work hard and listen to advice, they are invincible. The Templar Guild levies heavy taxes on members, and Molly asked her friend Sandy to join them in Shei's dreams. She said they had a lot of players who couldn't do anything either, but Sandy disagreed. She reached level 10 thanks to the Templars, but they will still use her as a tool. Members of the Shahi's dreams only kill mobs and avoid encounters with bosses. Sandy thinks that she is an unusual girl and will eventually become the best. Suddenly someone shoots at one of the players. The The cattle from Shehi's dreams are worth nothing. The killer demands the life of the murdered man's wife and daughter. Killing in the wild zone is prohibited. Molly will sue him. She can knock on anyone she wants. They know who he is. Laura asks her mother to ask for help in the guild channel. She will detain the players. They asked for it themselves. They will kill the old woman and have fun with the young one. 2 people attack. Then Ray appears riding a wolf. He blows off the head of the player's killer. Their lives are lost. We need to find Days urgently. A sword of light strikes them. All 3 involved in the murders of the players have been caught. They must provide their information in order to carry out an arrest in accordance with the law in case of resistance. The sentence will be increased. Thanks to Shadow, Molly and her mother survived. This girl turned out to be surprisingly nice. Ray doesn't know how she ended up in the same guild with Sandy, but it's good that their paths diverged. Security said Shadow would be here in 3 minutes, but they've been waiting for half an hour. It's hard to believe, but it seems the bosses have been resurrected. The ancient tablet will add enhancing properties to your equipment. The world's 7th-ranked master sacrificed 7 tablets in battle to summon an ancient boss. Sometimes these bosses have such a high level of invisibility that players passing by die without noticing them. Sometimes the real boss is a summoner hiding nearby, which makes it seem like the killed bosses have been resurrected. They say that resurrection occurs after killing one, but it is unknown what will happen if you kill them all at once. Ray has to find out. He calls for a follower. He attacks the bosses, but he himself is under attack. These bosses have approximately double the stats of normal bosses. Ray uses the Shadow Blade. The bosses are killed, but there is no damage. Their bodies begin to merge. They turned into one huge monster. These symbols on the boss's body look like ancient hieroglyphs. Misfortune, heaven, antiquity, faith, darkness, and deity. The whole sequence is translated as Uthos, the ancient god of the apocalypse. Ray once spent a lot of time studying ancient texts about the gods in order to explore the ruins. Ray attacks one of the body parts with a hieroglyph. The boss's body is melting. However, he is still alive. New monsters appear. The hieroglyphs on the coffins correspond to monsters. It seems they need to be killed near the corresponding coffins. According to the ancient tablet, this is the last stage. The ground is shaking. Perhaps the boss is trying to escape from the valley. Without the Shadow, he cannot be defeated, but he does not come. The boss disappeared. Shadow has already dealt with the boss. This happened in just 10 minutes, and they didn't even know he was there. The harvest was good today. Ray was able to obtain an ancient tablet, but even a month wouldn't be enough to figure out its mechanics. This tablet has an ancestral curse placed on it, which will apply an additional effect to any equipment attached to it. Ray places an ancestral curse on the gift of the Black Flame, the icy armor of hatred. With this effect, he will be able to weaken the boss's defense and resistance. Now he will upgrade Shadow Carnage to legendary level. If 9 hits hit the target, Ray's health will increase tenfold. At his development speed, he should be able to reach level 15 in 6 hours. Ray returns to the ruins of Shanghai. These women still beat Sandy. They are tired. That's enough for today. Hopefully Sandy will remember the lesson for a long time. If she broke off contact with Ray, it doesn't mean she wanted it. He should know that a woman's no means yes. Luckily, she signed a 3-year contract with the Templars and need not worry about survival. She will become so strong that everyone who looked down on her will regret it. Sandy wants to restore her health, but instead gives it to Ray. She has no health left. The Chinese are so weak. 18 people were scared to death and couldn't kill the boss. There's one last push left. Someone is killing a player here. This is a man from Cheryl's team. They have a Chinese woman and foreigners on their team. This creature is killing its own people. Cheryl attacks. Chinese men are such idiots. We need to tell the whole country about it. Although it makes no sense, the whole country is a dumping ground for poor scum. Although their identities are not disclosed, they should go to America as soon as possible. They will form a guild and continue killing slant-eyed pigs. They will call the guild Alice. That's enough for today. Time to have some fun. For Alice, they have to work hard. Annie offers to discuss the price of shelter. 1,500 is not enough. That's what Annie wanted to say. She's ready for 2,000. She comes accompanied by knights. She has a lot of lives and she doesn't want anything to happen to them, so she came with an escort. Ray handed over the key to the church sanctuary's shelter. The lives he received were enough to extract all the skills he had pumped everything up to the maximum, except for the equipment. It's time to go back. Ray hasn't eaten anything for too long. He returns to reality. The guy woke up. Let him give up his life without any antics if he doesn't want to share the fate of the other guests. He looks like he's shit himself with fear. Ray activates the Shadow Blade. The building is collapsing. The more energy is spent, the more the body requires. Ordinary food cannot replenish its current strength. After killing Cheryl and her guild members, you need to find the Divine Book. Ray isn't really full yet. He'll need to buy some food in Shanghai. It would be so wonderful to fall into bed with them after a good fight. Shadow said that Ray is dead. He wants to meet in the real Shanghai. Cheryl asks to send his geolocation. There is no need to meet, but he does not use the phone to avoid surveillance. Cheryl gives the coordinates, but first she wants to meet Shadow in the game. She's clearly up to something. I wonder what tricks she has prepared. The hunters have an official arrest warrant for Ace of Spades. Now they are Alice, and they specialize in exterminating Chinese pigs. This is too much. Cheryl will be even more daring tonight if Tian Xingjian continues to play along with her. This is Neil Hao, alias Tian Xingjian, the infamous mole who supplied Alice with information until the 7th year of the game. He once slept with Cheryl, now these two are putting on an act. Helping Cheryl is a direct confrontation with the government. But if Ray doesn't help her, he won't be able to meet her in reality. In this case, he will be making a gesture of goodwill. Ray appears in front of the Ace of Spades. Cheryl loves this type. Such a strong man, China doesn't deserve him. Team member Cheryl speaks English. Ray blows his head off. He didn't understand what he said, but most likely it was swearing. He didn't curse but simply greeted Shadow. He's sorry, but to avoid misunderstandings it's better to speak in Chinese. And let Cheryl get dressed. The Shadow is very unusual, she got excited. He can't transfer Ray's head into the game, so he offers to verify its presence in reality. Cheryl was already convinced of the Shadow's power. He wouldn't lie to her. There's a new target to kill. If Shadow's interested, he can come to Cheryl's tonight. He certainly won't leave unsatisfied. Ray asks about the price. They will talk in the evening. The reward will be much more generous. Cheryl will be waiting for him at the port of Shanghai. Neil knew that Shadow would go against the government. Those idiots from Shanghai hung around with him all day. Even if he is teamed up with the Aces of Spades, he must be gotten rid of at all costs. But even before death, Night Rain will not be able to see him approaching. Ray arrives at Cheryl's yacht. The Shadow has arrived. They are ready to sail. In reality, he is even more mysterious. Shadow asks who Cheryl wants to kill. It's so uninteresting. He talks about boring things with such a beautiful landscape and such a beautiful girl. First you need to drink. The Shadow drinks without showing its face. Cheryl is delighted. She added a secret ingredient to this wine. Anyone who drinks it will obey. When they reach the peak, Cheryl will take off his hood. She is sure that he is a handsome man. It's unbelievable that such a man is Chinese. He is so hot. Cheryl is ready and eager. She is engulfed in flames. It's a crystal protection pendant. Ray didn't know that this thing would save Cheryl from death. After all, it was Shadow who killed him. There is an explanation for this. Shadow is him. The follower is happy. Cheryl was wrong. She will do whatever Ray wants. He asks where the 5 foreigners who were with her are. Maybe he will let her go if she says so. Ray kills Cheryl. They're not here, so it's time to cast your nets. A message was received from a yacht that a mass murder had occurred, and one of the victims was the daughter of the company chairman, Chang. According to police, the killer's skills are largely similar to those of Shadow. He felt too unpunished. Once the Shadow's location is pinpointed, shoot to kill. The cause of death was a fracture of the cervical spine. An unknown DNA sample was found in the mouth. The last words of the deceased skill allows you to locate the killer within 5 minutes of touching the body. The Shadow is still here. He kills Neil. He dared to kill an officer on duty, apparently. He wants to become an enemy of the government. Shadow killed Neil because he was providing information to Cheryl in exchange for favors, and there is evidence on his phone. Neil and Cheryl do have each other's contacts. Kate wants to see. There can't be anything there that she shouldn't see. But this is not true. Tom asked me to wait. Shadow gained Cheryl's trust, lured her into reality and killed her, then called the police to kill the traitor Neil. Kate shot him several times, and if this incident damages his relationship with the government, it will be bad. Kate apologizes to Shadow for shooting him. She shoots herself in the foot. Kate asks Shadow to continue to stand by China's side. She shot herself to avoid framing Ray. She is a worthy candidate for the post of the future mayor of Shanghai. The Templars fight monsters. The player asks Sandy to heal him. She misses. The monster now has more health. Sandy and the others were killed again. They lost, but there was no one nearby. It was definitely the Shadow. They were killed by the Platinum Boss Headless Assassin Xiaoluo. Sandy doesn't even see system notifications. She restored the boss's health. Now he's chasing them. This was the perfect opportunity to kill Shadow. They can't do anything at the most crucial moment. Laura doesn't need an explanation. This degenerate killed the entire Fox family. Nan knows how to kill Shadow, but only adults can play such games. He may not be able to get into the game, but he has brains. The Shadows like to kill. They will send someone to get rid of him and set a trap at Dad's factory. It would be blown up as soon as Shadow entered. And even if the plan failed, he wouldn't be able to reach them. It seems Nanya was given a good education. This must remain a secret, and the Shadow is treated with restraint. Laura will organize everything, so this creature still refuses to give up its years of life. Nan couldn't resist and accidentally killed her. Someone invisibly killed those people in an instant. It was definitely a Shadow. He's gone crazy and is smashing everyone. The place is not bad. You can move the shelter here. The transfer is complete. It's time to go for the Divine Book. Someone complained that Ray killed too many players, but Wang checked and he wasn't in the game. It was the Platinum Boss Headless Assassin Xiaoluo who was attacking players. Even Shadow can't handle a boss like this. The first defender is not afraid of her. He dodges attacks. Just a little more, he almost got out of it. The headless killer has disappeared. The boss strikes from hiding. Ray approaches her. He attacks. It was Sandy who activated the skill incorrectly and awakened the headless boss. From today on, she will be busy searching for shelters. Now she sees the chapter every day. It's just her plan. The headless assassin has been defeated. It turns out that it was this invisible boss who was killing everyone, and not the shadow. The space around Sandy distorted. This is the same effect as when the boss teleports he's about to teleport here. Sandy is thrown into the air. As many as 4 headless killers appear. This is Shadow. Sandy has a chance. She calls for help. Ray kills the bosses and her. Team Annie is everywhere. There is one place with good loot, but women are not allowed there. This is the Tower of Divine Power, and the NPCs in this tower hate women. When Annie levels up, she'll cut out these sexists. The Shadow just walks, and the speed is faster than they're running. The loot dropped over 20 items, 2 of which are suitable for assassins. The Deathly Pale Blade has a higher attack than the Plague Blade, plus armor penetration. Shadow Blade Star throws a dagger of darkness 20 meters away, removing 1 random buff on impact. Van and the others have disappeared somewhere. Shadow is too fast to keep up with. It's here. Shadow was finally caught up with. They will receive very good items from NPCs. Ray opens the doors. They will be forced to make a deal if they fail the test. The NPC wishes them to enjoy the fight. A level 20 obsidian golem appears. Van prepares to attack. He strikes. It throws him away. The archer should use Starlight, and the swordsman should use Triple Strike. Attacks begin to reduce the boss's health. Ray joins in. He throws a Shadow Blade. Shadow has a new technique. The blow is very powerful. The boss spews fire clockwise. If they get hit by it, they will burn alive. Van covers himself with a shield. When the flames die down, the swordsman must use his most destructive skills and land a critical hit. The obsidian golem has been defeated. They have passed the first test. Now their lives are at stake. This sorcerer's name is Vickley. He has 6 fingers. Vickley suddenly starts attacking. NPCs and players cannot attack each other unless the player breaks a taboo. Vickley has a taboo associated with his fingers, so just don't mention them. In fact, all these NPCs are the most powerful creatures from other times and worlds who have attained divinity. Let players choose a divine book, pay with life, and get out. It turns out that you can exchange part of your life and actually create food and other things. Ray received 9 books from the god Zhanghai. These books fully cover his needs. He wants to complete the game on the highest difficulty level alone. At his level, he won't even be able to handle the first floor. The boss is the same, but all the stats are increased by 500%. If Shadow dies, all the lost years of life will go to Vickley. But since he himself wants to give him his life, Vickley will gladly accept it. The boss appears. Vickley is able to strengthen his monsters. 500% is far from the limit. Monster defense and resistance are reduced by 1%. Ray takes out a white bone blade. The speed has been increased again by 200%. The shadow is so fast that it seems as if he disappeared. Here it is, the enhancement from the ancient tablet. The slit throat effect is activated. Every second the target takes damage equal to 200% of the previous attack. The test is complete. Shadow became the first person in the world to complete the Tower of the Deity solo on the highest difficulty. This is a scam. Vickley teleported them outside. Shadow is leaving the game. He needs to eat. Having spent 106 years of his life, he acquired luxurious furniture, household goods, food, and even a universal mechanical maid. She will fulfill any wishes. Ray asks you to clean the house and cook a sumptuous dinner. This is the third female body found this week, and as in the first 2 cases, the limbs were sawed off and the eyes were gouged out. The killer disposed of the body at a time when it was possible to avoid detection during a window of opportunity. It could be Shadow. The time of his appearance in the game coincides with the time of the girl's death. It's not enough to blame him. The mayor knows he humiliated Matthew. But one shouldn't mix personal animosity with the investigation. The Academy of Evil Spirits is a platinum-level hideout, and its barrier is considered the strongest. By capturing this place and registering it in the name of the guild, Ray receives a full-fledged shelter. He goes inside. This is already the 3rd underground level, and there are no monsters anywhere. Ray hears voices. Before the girl was killed, Laura Fox ordered her to be brought to her. Let her tell where she really is. Otherwise they will kill her until they eat up her entire life. She killed Laura Fox twice and probably took at least 30 years of her life. She will give them these 30 years, and then she will play with them, and they will let her go. The girl asks how they are going to play with her. Well, of course, that's how it is. And they promise that they will then let her go. The girl is approaching. Suddenly she snatches out a poison dart, but she is stopped. She has one last chance. Let her open her mouth. The girl attacks. She uses a chain blade. In her past life, Phantom was one of the top 10 strongest players. But after becoming enemies with the Chu family, she was exposed in the real world. When she was surrounded, she managed to take thousands of enemies with her before dying of exhaustion. And now Shadow met her here. Phantom thinks that he is also one of those who came for her. Shadow doesn't mind playing. The Phantom disappears. Then Shadow also activates invisibility. The Phantom can detect hidden targets, but it still eludes her, so it's a Shadow. That's right, he's here. Phantom uses Phantom Chase. This chain can track his location. The Phantom doesn't see him, but there's no escaping the mark of the Phantom Chase. It's interesting, but nothing more. The Phantom finds himself bound by his own chain. Shadow is not one of Laura Fox's people. If he wanted to kill Phantom, she would already be dead. Laura is probably from the Fox family. That's true, but she married into the Chu family. So, then Shadow didn't kill the entire Fox family. The enemy of Phantom's enemy is her friend. They can cooperate. Shadow asks why Phantom wants to kill Laura. She fatally hit her mother while driving drunk, but got away with it. Phantom's father found evidence of Laura's guilt, but the next day, he was pulled out of the river. Phantom went to Laura for justice, but she was beaten half to death. Then she despaired and thought about committing suicide. And it was at that moment that the game came into their world. When she killed Laura in the game, after she was revived, she hired people to hunt her down. The Phantom asks for help to kill Laura. Ray refuses. Phantom will do anything. She will give Shadow everything. Just let him help her. The Shadow won't kill Laura. It's Phantom's revenge. But he will help her. And then everything will depend only on her. If she joins the Shadow Guild, he will help her get revenge. Phantom joins the guild. Now she needs to get upgraded. If she can't do this, then she can forget about revenge. Ray goes deeper into the Academy of Evil Spirits. Her guardian, the witch Stanasur, appears. Of the 4 heads, only one is active, and it is immune to physical damage. But Ray has a speed blade. It turns into a real machine gun. In the second stage, 3 heads are activated at once, and she begins to dance, throwing out random attacks. The disco is over. Ray killed the witch Stanasur and obtained the key to the hideout of the Academy of Evil Spirits. Attacks no longer break invisibility. Now Phantom won't go anywhere. They called everyone from the Asura Palace Guild. The Phantom dodges the blow. Someone throws a glowing grenade. Phantom will be taught a proper lesson. She wants to drink suicide poison, which takes away half of one's lifespan and returns one to reality. Now that's some character. He loves people like that. The Academy of Evil Spirits now belongs to the Shadow Guild, and anyone who is not a member of the guild is considered an invader. Liquidation has begun. This means that in just a few minutes, Shadow single-handedly killed the Keeper and took the key. He got 2 assassin skills at once. Black Plum found ruins again. A shadow appears behind her and asks where the entrance is. No need to scare me like that. The entrance is there, under the cliff. Black Plum got this little sheep. Then suddenly the silver boss appeared. They got scared, and Black Plum fell off the cliff. She clung to a tree and discovered a cave there. Then she died and returned here with Annie and Van. There is a small labyrinth ahead. They have already cleared everything. Black Plum knows that there are skills that can suck out other people's lives. But her team has a way to replenish non-exchangeable energy. They lure monsters that have already sucked out the life of others and kill them in a secluded place. They lose that same irreplaceable energy. They accumulate it and use it when necessary. This is a teleportation sphere that only a chosen few can enter. The shadow touches the sphere. It lights up with a blinding light. The shadow disappeared. He entered the Icy Tide Cave. His task is to protect the Ice Tide Crystal. The monsters will try to destroy the crystal. If they do, Ray will die. Death is not scary, but if he fails the task, he will not be able to get here a second time, and the reward will be lost. We'll have to strengthen the poison trap. Now it completely blocks the passage. It begins. The monsters rush towards the crystal. The trap is triggered. While Ray is invisible, any damage is considered a backstab. Someone shoots an arrow. Ray closes himself with a barrier. Long-range monsters have appeared, so their guild refused to pursue Phantom because she was from the Shadow Guild. That is, the Shadow is more dangerous for John than Laura. She has all his data. Killing him is a piece of cake. He had put up with her for too long. He might not be able to deal with the Shadow, but he will crush her. Laura died. These mongrels dared to kill her. We must catch them all. First, they will deal with the Shadow. Laura's husband has already ordered the Black Dragon to create problems for him. One hit, one corpse. The task is completed. An epic chest appears in place of the crystal. Ray opens it. This is the same NPC that was standing next to the previous chest. She speaks the language of the ancient gods. Ray doesn't understand the words, but somehow he gets the meaning clearly. Perhaps because of the Eye of Justice. He is the chosen one. The ancient gods have long fallen, and he is the heir to the power of justice. Her name is Ashahis. She will follow the Shadow and see him become a true god of justice. He receives the summoning bell of Ashahis. He has one free chance to upgrade the skill to the current level. The power of a skill depends on 2 parameters, quality and required level. Quality cannot be increased, but infinite evolution can be used to improve it by force. And the required level determines the strength of the skill. For example, the Shadow step of the 5th and 50th level is like heaven and earth. The Shadow chooses divine ending, as it is the skill of the highest quality. Ashahis will be waiting for their next meeting. The exit opens. There's something else in the chest. This is a pact of equal value exchange that allows you to sacrifice one item and randomly receive an item for your profession. An hour passed, and Black Plum was still waiting for him. She guarded the entrance to the cave. No one should disturb the shadow. It's time to go offline for a bit. Ray is hungry. Now the Templar Guild has its own abode. Here they don't have to fear bosses who want them dead. We need to thank the person who gave them shelter. Sandy credits her teacher and friends, as well as everyone who hated her, with inspiring her to become stronger. If her parents saw how strong she had become, they would definitely be proud of her. The guild leader offers to tell what difficulties she had to overcome to find this shelter. She had a dream where a very strong warrior, taking her with him, found this place. Sandy is so funny. Interesting details. Maybe she dreamed about something else. She saw a large temple where there were many people. It was very beautiful. Sandy gets 1 year to live. As long as they work together, their guild has a chance to gain a foothold in these turbulent times. Sandy looks for shelter based on the feelings from the dream, but for some reason there is nothing there. Perhaps she is looking for the Golden Temple. It feels like she's being stalked. She is a professional tracker. Nothing can scare her. A monster appears. He grabbed Sandy. This monster sucks out lives. Those following Sandy start to run. The monster caught up with them. Sandy falls somewhere. In front of her is the gate she saw in her dream. This is a gold-level shelter. Sandy reports him to the chief. Here the monster appears again. Sandy will definitely defeat him. She is not the same as she used to be. After all, she has a noble hidden class, the Priest of Life. She uses poison ivy. Got it. This poison is stronger than usual, but the space is closed, so it fills everything around. Sandy has an antidote. She uses it, but it only works on the monster. Sandy died. The leader asks where she is. Sandy says that a monster killed her. He's slow and his attacks are weak, but those he grabs lose vitality, and Sandy somehow managed to survive. She knew that if the monster grabbed her, there would be no way to escape, so she committed suicide. It seems her pursuers are dead, and so will everyone who stands in her way. There is a platinum hideout behind the door. They will destroy the guards, and he will belong to them. The door doesn't open, so she is the guardian. The player hits the door. Damage has been done, that's it, the door is the guardian. There is an explosion. The Pure Lands shelter has come under attack. With that kind of force, it would take them a whole year to break down the door. The female player is attacked. She is nailed to the ground. This territory is under the control of the Templars. She was just passing by, they need a reason to rob. This is Tina, Ray's colleague, a pretty nice girl. It seems that the Templars attacked the Pure Lands. Ray attacks them. Tina recognizes him. He disappears. This is Shadow, but he looks a lot like Ray. It's probably a coincidence. Tina saw Sandy join the Templar Guild. Ray wouldn't let her become a slave. The Purest Lands were still able to avoid the blow. May eternal glory and power be with the Shadow. These idiots dared to attack him on the road and will be punished later. Ever since Shadow saved them from the headless assassin Xiao Luo, they have become his fans. They stand on the side of good and despise evil and vice. Shadow heard that they were attacking one shelter. It belongs to him. His hideout is in the Demon City. A person can only have one. If you create a guild, you can take control of another shelter. That's right. Shadow has a hideout both in the Demon City and in Shanghai. They penetrated the Shadow's hideout. There was no Shadow in Sandy's dreams. They didn't know that this location belonged to him. Repairing the door will cost a pretty penny. Let the Shadows be given 500 years of life, and they will disperse. The head falls. He's not feeling well. Maybe Shadow will lower the price a little. If he doesn't know how much the repairs cost, he should shut up. It's all because of Sandy. She admits her mistake. Everyone must be responsible for their actions. Let the Shadow punish her. Sandy is ready to work like a horse and earn lives to get them back. Shadow can do with her whatever he wants. Shadow asks if the leader is sure that she is worth 500 years. Let him get lost. She herself led them to the Shadow's hideout, and now she's playing the victim. They are a small guild. They don't have 500 years. Then 100, the remaining 400 will be divided among the guild members. The lifespan of each will be reduced by 1 year. Only the killer can remove the murderous state from himself, and the Shadow will use this opportunity to throw off his pursuers. Whoever is in a state of murder, let them take away their life sentence. It will take 7 days of life to restore the shelter. The shelter has been restored. Shadow killed 400 assassins. From now on, the Templar Guild will guard his location. This guy wants to lock them in here. The hideout of the Evil Spirit Academy is under attack. Everyone knows that the Academy of Evil Spirits is a Shadow location. He teleported. It was time for them to go to headquarters too, but he told them to guard the shelter. That's right, so Sandy will be responsible. She wanted to come here, so let her sit here and not go anywhere. If she leaves her post, the head will take her life. The hideout at the Evil Spirit Academy is under attack by members of the Dark Dragon Palace Guild. Barrier strength is 51%. They've gone crazy. This is the Shadow's hideout. He doesn't remember having any contact with this guild. Its leader takes away the power of other players. There is an explosion. Just a little more, and the barrier will collapse. They will receive 100 years of life. It seems they were hired and have no personal grudge against Shadow. A roar reaches the players. The dragon appears. They can't move. Now in front of them is something like a meteorite. But it is strange. The meteorite is falling. Only 3,000 points of damage. The head of the guild is blown off. It must be Shadow, but he is not visible. He can be invisible. These are the people from the Sky Dome Guild, and this is Jane Jing, nicknamed Distant Mountain Hills. It's no wonder the skills are so familiar. The dragon and meteor were drawn. Unlike magicians who read spells out loud, a spiritual artist must draw his technique. The better you draw, the better your skill will be. Jane would like to discuss something with Shadow. He asks what exactly. Jane wants to get into his hidden location. She needs to find something. It is related to her skills. She will pay a good reward. Previously, the Evil Spirit Academy was occupied by the Sky Dome Guild. Unfortunately, Shadow got ahead of Jane. The head of the Sky Dome Guild is called Old Man Zhang. At 73, he streams with his granddaughter, and they have competed many times. It's all because Jane lost her father early, so Old Man Zhang wants to somehow compensate for his absence. Sky Dome Guild is a top 10 guild, so Ray knows them well. He used to watch their streams often. Jane can go inside. They can discuss everything there. Shadow asks why she was looking for this location. Her class is a spiritual artist, and to ascend she needs special materials that are found in the Academy of Evil Spirits. She really needs materials, so she is ready to buy the academy. It's not for sale, but Shadow can grant Jane guest access to the first floor freely. Jane offers 500 years of life for renting the first floor for 3 years. Even visiting rights might help with promotion, but Jane still insists on renting. As a sign of sincerity, she will add one more condition. If Shadow agrees, the Dark Dragon Palace Guild will be cleared out. It's like declaring war on the guild. You have to ask Old Man Zhang's permission. Grandpa trusts Jane, and besides, this small guild should have disappeared long ago. Shadow agrees. He didn't think Jane would be much more alive than she was on stream. During this time, Ray has made many exchanges. We need to try again. Received the Emerald level Scarlet Owl Blade, concentrated fresh blood. If you use all the additional skills, the damage can exceed 100,000. While invisible, the rate of life loss is reduced by 90%. Ray is now level 17 and can equip Emerald gear. It must be admitted that the low-ranking equipment is quite ugly. It is better to change the appearance. It's time to go on the next mission. This time, 4 people who are not very willing to sell their lives. It is clear that the buyers are wealthy. The house is luxurious. These idiots will soon meet their end. Laura tells them to turn the lives into glowing balls and throw them on the ground. They're not going to give them away for free. If they don't want to die, let them do as they are told. Life sellers are being targeted with machine guns. If Laura wants to rob them, then she is no different from them. People with machine guns are being attacked. This time we caught some good cattle. They will fleece this beauty blind. The platinum shield cannot be penetrated. Hidden class pistol in hand allows you to shoot directly from your hand. The main gate has collided with the pros. Reinforcements are required. The Phantom attacks Laura, but someone pushes her away. We must catch them alive so that they can serve Laura's son for life. They all seem to be trained in hand-to-hand combat, but they use their fighting skills too often. Tyler suggests starting a fair fight. The battle has already begun. Tyler grabs the gold bug. This is impossible. The speed of a beetle is 200 kilometers per hour. Tyler has sensed the situation, so he can feel any hesitation. His attack flattens the shield. Active intervention is a sign of defeat. Tyler uses his skill. The production level turned out to be low. One of the survivors tries to escape. Tyler grabs him. He won't kill him. Half of their number will go to Laura. Somewhere here was their comrade who loved to play hide and seek. They didn't have that. Tyler killed them both. They don't know the bald guy who went out with them. They ended up together by chance. The guards at the entrance to the magical Leaning Tower in the Demon City have disappeared. It looks like someone has entered. Inside is a library with monsters sealed within its depths. It seems the teleportation mechanism to the upper floors is here. You can activate teleportation magic if you get the book Postpartum Care for the Sow. Ray teleports. A lot of people arrived. The equipment is weak, and the chance of dying is too high. These are the people from the fake industry. FICA is a factory in the Demon City. After the disaster occurred, the head of the company, Linda Fenn, accumulated all the resources, transforming them into resources for survival. Linda is an illusionist. Her signature skill is a teleportation door. But they are opposed by the Princess of Despair, a level 18 platinum boss. The speed at which she absorbs life is 100 times faster than other monsters. If things continue like this, she will soon be promoted to Emerald rank, and then all of FICO's efforts will be meaningless. If Linda gives Shadow 1,000 years of life, he will help destroy the boss. They won't be able to defeat him. It's better to accept his conditions and retreat. 1,000 years is too long. Shadow grabs Linda's son and throws him into the portal. 1,000 years is the time it takes for Shadow to help them get rid of the boss. They don't know yet that he will soon be promoted in rank. All these desperate people could die if the teleportation portal is not destroyed. Once the boss reaches Emerald rank, Shadow will kill him and receive valuable rewards. Phantom found Laura. She was hiding on the outskirts of the city of Fengyinshan. But there was a guard there. Phantom almost died at his hands. The Shadow awaits her on the battlefield with the skeleton. He is a close combat fighter. His main move is releasing gas. He sees through invisibility. There is a smoke screen around him with a radius of about 10 meters. He has a hidden class, Plague Source, and is currently at level 1. There are rumors that at a high level, a player of this class can achieve immortality. The plague strengthens the body, but at the same time devours the mind. And this is the weakness of the Plague Source. Phantom class, Yellow Blade Source, evolves into Yellow Demon Source at level 2. He is able to put the enemy into an illusion, and this is Phantom's path to victory. Games often have deep meanings hidden within them. You need to train hard and step firmly. The accumulation of knowledge will lead to success. This is how the great become stronger. This area will help her progress the most. If we talk about disadvantages, then it's the danger. All the monsters here are elite, but if you act cleverly, then every blow will hit their weaknesses. Everything must be put on the line to complete the path of vengeance. The Shadow disappears. He seems to emanate a strong killing intent. The Black Plum was very tired and hungry. But this area has been explored almost completely. Very little remains. Black Plum notices something that looks like a fruit on the ground. She tries it. This is very tasty. This fruit also gives experience. Black Plum finds other fruits. She starts eating them. Annie asks her to quickly approach the rotten coast. Matthew was caught by the boss. Matthew is an idiot. If it weren't for his family, no one would mess with him. Eating the fruits, the Black Plum comes out to the rotten coast. There she sees the boss. This is an Emerald rank Soul Eater. He devours other monsters and makes pills. This boss is very nasty. He feeds on other monsters, but for some reason does not attack players. They won't be able to handle him. They'll have to call for reinforcements. It's strange what he's doing. This pose is very ambiguous. He defecates. From it come the fruits that the Black Plum ate. She starts screaming. The boss heard her. It makes a special sound. This sound affects Annie and Van. They feel very hungry. This makes them rush towards the cauldron with the mess of eaten monsters. They start eating it. Hunger makes them eat a lot, and they immediately get fat. They went crazy, but somehow Black Plum is okay. The boss grabs Matthew and eats him. We need to call for reinforcements, but this is the most reliable command. We will have to turn to the Shadow. They encountered the Emerald boss, a Soul Eater. Van and Annie are in danger. He wants to eat them. This is the bloody monster that Shadow was looking for. It's time to deal with him, and the Princess of Despair has almost reached the next stage. Annie and Van have already been eaten. It seems the boss wants to relieve himself. Matthew flew out of it, swallowed. The Soul Eater makes sounds that make players feel extremely hungry. The only way to counteract the effects of the sounds was to eat his excrement, and it seemed that's what Black Plum did. Shadow grabs Matthew and throws him into the boss's stomach. He spits out Annie and Van. Shadow uses the Blade of Scarlet Fury. He was the first in the world to kill the Emerald boss. Shadow received the blood of a Soul Eater. Blood that suits your profession will greatly enhance your fighting power. A large bloody mouth devours projectiles, restoring health. The boss dropped a bronze-level poison blade. Now you can apply poison to weapons. If it weren't for Shadow, Van and Annie would have ended up like Matthew. Annie remains a beauty, even though she is overweight. Beauty is not determined by appearance. Shadow asks for help in finding assassin skill books. He is counting on them. No one must know what happened here. The boss has a third of his health left. You need to activate the Tree of Life. Constant healing of teammates within reach. The Shadow destroyed the portal. They must try not to die and give it their all. They are close to victory. Thanks to Mary's healer rank, they were able to capture this shelter. The Princess of Despair kills the player. She gets into a strange pose. There is an explosion around her. All players die and a despair egg appears in the boss's place. The boss is inside the egg. She suddenly recovered and turned into an egg. Perhaps Shadow knew this from the very beginning. Their tactics were doomed to failure. Their guild won't be able to cope unless the Shadow intervenes. It's strange. The transition to the Pearl class shouldn't have been accompanied by a change in form. Besides, the egg seems harmless. Ray uses the Shadow Blade. This boss has 10 million health points. The egg is too weird. We need to get rid of it. Despite his absurdly high health, he's not hard to beat. Murder is only a matter of time. This girl only has 10 health points. Ray prepares the Shadow Blade. The dragon appears. So the legend of the princess cursed by the white dragon is true. The Princess of Despair rises into the air. She comes to life and hugs the dragon. He disappears. Something fell out of it. Shadow prevented the resurrection of the god of the deep, Casus, and obtained the cursed heart, which can be used to become related to Casus, or destroyed to obtain a legendary item. From the description, it sounds like it's some kind of parasitic thing, and will likely take over Shadow's body as soon as Casus arrives. The Shadow will destroy the heart. A blinding light flashes. It fills everything around. Shadow may have been teleported, but he's still there. However, the body is not his. Artes leaves again. The enemies summoned a giant monster to attack the port. Artes promised to teach the princess the art of wind today. It's only early morning now. As soon as he returns, they will go to school. It takes 7 days and nights of continuous horse riding to reach the coast. He cannot return today. This is a scale of promise. Whoever breaks this promise will lose his wings and will never be able to fly again. The princess doesn't want Artes to lose his wings. He always keeps his word. When he comes back, we can have dinner together. Artes flies away. They must gather ingredients for a grand dinner to throw Artes a feast. These two must be the Princess of Despair and the White Dragon. Shadow fell into the memories of the cursed heart. Finally, everything is ready: stewed chicken bones with poisonous mushrooms, steamed lava rocks, pizza made from volcanic ash, deep-fried obsidian, chilled fish scales, fried eggshells with tomatoes, all Artie's favorites. The princess hopes that he will return any minute. She fell asleep. It's time for evening prayer. Soon the bells will strike midnight. The princess asks where Artes is and why he hasn't returned yet. There is an intense battle going on. He may not return anytime soon. Artes is the great guardian of the kingdom. Any enemy before him is like a lamb before a wolf. The enemy army sacrificed 10,000 souls to summon the monster. His body is covered with thousands of tentacles and countless eyes. One look at him drives people crazy. Something clicked. This is the cracking of the scale of promise. If Artes does not return before the bell rings at midnight, he will lose his wings. The princess cannot allow Artes to lose them. She opens the door, behind which someone is standing. This is Artes. He did promise that he would come back. It was a bit of a hassle, but it didn't require much effort. All that was left was to get myself in order, and the army would handle the rest. Artes is dying of hunger. The princess prepared all this, but the food has gone cold. It doesn't matter. Everything is delicious. Rich fish scales, fresh mushrooms, and incredibly crispy obsidian. Now they will begin their lesson on wind art. The princess yawns. She is tired, because she spent the whole day preparing dinner for Artes, but she still wants to understand what the art of the wind is. She wants Artes to turn into a dragon and take her for a ride. But the king has forbidden her to go on such dangerous rides. It was Artes who was late yesterday. The princess put so much effort into preparing the food, and he betrays her. Since he promised, he will do as he promised. Just don't tell the king. Artes transforms into a dragon. Don't neglect safety precautions. Let it hold on tighter. Artes is flying. So this is how he sees the world. It's not just beautiful, it's stunningly beautiful. The bell rings. The princess asks if Artes will always protect this place. Of course, always. Artes put the princess to bed. He is seriously injured. It's not fatal. He just needs to rest a little. He incinerated that octopus with dragon fire. The Manga Empire performed some kind of ritual to summon this monster, and the king senses a new wave that will engulf the entire continent. Artes is wounded much more seriously than it seemed. His heart is bursting out. 5 years later, the kingdom was attacked by monsters. They were giants who crushed people under their feet. The Manga Empire has gone mad. They want to drag the whole world to their grave with them. The enemy army has already broken into the city. It's full of monsters. The kingdom needs Artes. He just wanted to follow the princess. Artes will stay here and protect her. He is the guardian of the kingdom and must protect the people. The capital is about to fall. Artes must transform into a dragon and burn all enemies to the ground. His shadow is enough to keep the princess safe. He always did. 5 years ago, the Manga Empire performed a mystical ritual called Abandoned by God. The ritual is simple. You need to make a sacrifice to summon the non-humans. It was an ancient ritual, but it was rarely performed. No one was stupid enough to trade their life for an ugly monster. However, for the Manga Empire, this ritual was a hope. Manga is surrounded by powerful states, and most importantly, they have a magical plant, the blood flower, which grows only in the land of Manga and is capable of prolonging life. To put an end to wars and intrigues, Manga sent emissaries to all countries. They entered into pacts according to which the emissaries were obliged to serve their kingdoms. Manga believed that this would help maintain balance and peace, but they overestimated human nature. The appearance of the emissaries led people to believe that the inhabitants of Manga posed a threat, and it was decided that the empire must be destroyed. Wave after wave of disasters rolled across it, and due to the incessant violence, the bloody flower began to wither. Its petals became the last snowflake in the avalanche. The Manga Empire was wiped off the face of the earth, its people destroyed. Those who managed to survive grasped at the last straw of hope, the ritual of Abandoned by God. Every citizen of Manga was marked. Their lifespans shortened as the monsters took root within them. Therefore, Ares can no longer transform into a dragon. Otherwise, he will become a monster. The truth about the people of Manga is known to few. The more common name is the Dragon Clan, and people are accustomed to calling the emissaries of Manga the guardians of the kingdom. A wave of darkness swept across the kingdom. The end of humanity had come, and now Artes only wanted to protect the princess. The monsters are multiplying. The capital has already fallen. There are no escape routes. The magical Leaning Tower is one of the main centers of magic. Without it, the power of the mages will be significantly reduced. Once this happens, the monsters will be unstoppable. The king fights monsters. Time flies so fast. The first time he saw Artes, they were the same age. But in truth, at that time, Artes was already about 100 years old. During those years, they were inseparable. They fought together, drank and talked about everything under the sun. But the king grew old, and Artes always remained young. He cannot understand people, and people cannot understand him. Or rather, they couldn't until she was born. A giant monster appears that the king cannot cope with. The monster bathes him in blue light. There is an explosion. The capital has fallen. They will be here soon. The monsters are advancing. The magical falling tower has a powerful barrier and cannot be attacked. By order of the king, the scholar Louvain arrived to escort the princess. The king is already in another world. When the kingdom falls, Louvain will have to take the princess to the shelter. Arthas has nowhere to go if he leaves this place. These monsters are his people. Arthas is already a target for everyone. The place where the knights died is the dragon's grave. He will remain here until he bleeds out. Then the princess will become the knight of the dragon Artes. This is her home. She will protect it with him, and she controls the wind flawlessly. Artes gives the princess a promise scale. She starts talking and wants to promise that something will never happen. Artes finishes for her. They will never meet again. He trusts Princess Louvain. She shouldn't stay with the dragon. She already belongs to the human world. It is not only the people of Marega who are cursed. I wonder if Artes will take revenge for the murder of his beloved. The knights attack the monster, but even though he was blown to pieces, he was still alive. The white dragon is a pitiful creature, sacrificed by its own kind. The seeds have already been scattered. They are parasitic, feeding on life forces. The kindred are thirsty for revenge. They have already spread throughout the world, and Artes is trapped in a curse, ready to become one of them at any moment. He knows full well that one day his beloved princess will meet a tragic end, and the monster who killed him could even be him. He hates his own powerlessness, and hates even more the people who caused all this. But he can change that. Caduceus is the ancient ruler of the world, an almighty god. He can not only help fight the monsters, but also resurrect the princess. He has only one condition. Artes must give him his heart. Either he will die with the princess in this tower teeming with monsters, or he will act as a guardian knight and protect his kingdom. This body's life is coming to an end. Artes doesn't have much time to think. He did the right thing. Caduceus gives his heart the highest blessing. It will beat forever. The one he loves will receive his heart, gain the power of Caduceus, and be resurrected. Even though Artes lost his heart, he will not die or turn into a monster. He will become a guardian dragon, forever accompanying the princess. Artes transforms into a dragon. He has enough power to cleanse the entire kingdom. All their lives must belong to Caduceus. Right now, he can only use a human as a vessel temporarily, but as long as he uses the white dragon correctly, it's only a matter of time before he can increase his lifespan. The kingdom is cleansed, but the white dragon still circles in the sky. He promised never to meet the princess again, and to remain the guardian of the royal tower forever. He foresaw Caduceus's plan, which is why he didn't get off the magical Leaning Tower. Then Caduceus will settle on it, and will devour everyone who dares to come close. One day he will be fully resurrected and reign in the world. The stars revolved, the seas flowed together, and so countless centuries passed. It all felt too real, like a true story. Whirlwinds of black substance begin to swirl around. Shadow has reached the legendary level of the Shadow Fighter skill. 3 shadow clones are created within 7 seconds. The pure shadow of the white dragon, born from the light, continues to live. For 15 years he guarded what is dear to him. This is Arthas's skill. It increases damage 4-fold for a few seconds. Shadow received the magic key to the shelter in the Leaning Tower, and the keys to the gates of the ruins of the City of Skulls. He opened the map of the ruins of the City of Skulls. It is an island in an inland sea and may have belonged to the Marega Empire. Most likely, it is connected with the homeland of the White Dragon, which can only be accessed at level 20, while Shadow is at level 19. They can't beat the Diamond Boss. Maybe they should ask Shadow for help. It seems they have no choice. Linda will contact the people of Shanghai to pass on the message. There is no need for this. If Shadow wanted to kill them, he would have done it long ago. The barrier of their shelter was destroyed. Otherwise, he would not have been able to come here. This is the key to the shelter in the Leaning Tower. Shadow killed the Diamond Boss. Linda agrees to his price, 1,000 lira. He's a shameless bastard. This was all planned. First, he attacked Linda's son, broke the portal to cut them off from reinforcements, and now he's pretending to be a good guy and selling them this for 1,000 years. Tim won't let him get away with it. That key was theirs from the start, and they can't pay that amount. Let the Shadow give them the key, and then compensate them with 1,000 or 800 years of life. Linda has a good son. Shadow agrees to do as he wants. 1,800 years, not a day less. Shadow came here for purely business purposes, so he didn't swear, unlike Tim. For this reason, they will do without discounts. Linda hits Tim. She tells Mary to take his crew out and not bring him back until she says so. Linda didn't raise her son well enough. Shadow isn't going to make any allowances. 1,800 is a fair price after all. But they can't provide that many lives here and now. Linda wants to negotiate an installment plan. Shadow agrees. Now she will pay 1,000 years, and in 10 days he will come for the rest. They came to an agreement. The fake industry still has potential to become one of China's key forces. From now on, they set up a base in the magical Leaning Tower. From now on, a 50% tax will be charged from the guild members until the debt is paid. This is for their own benefit. There is no need to be so upset about your aunt. Tim did the wrong thing today. Ahead is the Silver Boss, the Spider Queen, who is on alert. The boss secretes poison. You need to use spells with an antidote. A bunch of idiots. Mary's face alone makes me want to vomit. The entire guild is full of spineless cowards. They don't understand that the only way to survive in the game is to seize every chance and use every advantage. Shadow follows this path. Tim took this relic out of the diamond chest. This is a vase of the abyss. By looking inside, he can get a random strong skill. The void puppet turns a person into a living puppet by sucking out their life force. Once Tim kills the shadow and takes away his skills, he will become invincible. The abyss has limitless power, but you must remember that when you look into the abyss also looks into you. Phantom's weapons have been improved. Finally, she has enough points to advance. The yellow eye of the source is an attack that casts an illusion on people, and the touch of the yellow sources reveals enemies by smell. Finally, more damage and more speed. Phantom, in reality Abby, is a surprisingly persistent girl. When she took pity on the little dog, it led the animal tamer to her true identity. The war of attrition lasted a long time. Phantom died from blood loss. She has great potential, but she is too young and has an unstable psyche. Ray will log out of the system just in case and make sure the mistakes don't happen again. There's still a long time until the weekend. I want to go down the mountain and have fun with the girls. Laura is also quite charming. Someday she will level up and blow off the Plague King's head, and then she will have fun with Laura. And here she is. She can't stand her useless husband anymore and wants someone else to satisfy her. They can do it together. It blows their heads off. It's actually Abby. But Tyler attacks her. He felt her as soon as she approached. She's gotten stronger. Maybe it's worth letting her grow even more so that she can fully satisfy Tyler. He really wants to kill her and can't resist. Tyler accidentally crushed her. However, Abby attacks him from behind. He crushed her illusion. Looking into her eyes, he had already decided his fate. She is indeed a worthy opponent. Looking out the window, Laura sees a defeated Tyler. She calls for help. Another enemy has come for them. Laura will call her father. Nanya is already 8. He will protect his mother. If only his useless father were as wonderful. The door opens. All the guards are dead. Perhaps Shadow figured out their plan. Abby asks what the plan is. Laura didn't do anything to her. Apparently she doesn't recognize her. Let her take a closer look. So Abby is still alive. She attacks Laura. She killed her parents. Now Abby will kill her in front of her son. Laura admits defeat. She only asks that her son not be touched. She has no right to set conditions. This concerns only them. Her son is innocent. Laura deprived Abby of her parents. Abby kills her. She's leaving. Nan is grateful to her. He is fed up with his mother's control. Today girl meat is on the menu again. Nan wants to play with Abby. The liches themselves have no physical strength, but their mental power allows them to control corpses. The dead rush at Abby. All she can do is cover her head. However, nothing happens. One must show mercy to one's enemies without harming oneself. Abby took revenge for her parents. She doesn't know that now she might also have to die to be reunited with them. After revenge, there is always emptiness. If Abby agrees to leave, Ray has nothing to say, but there is information she needs to know. The lands abandoned by God possess limitless possibilities. Among them is the method of resurrecting the dead. But if Abby sees revenge as the finish line, then it doesn't matter. Or she can go after Ray. The choice is hers. This is his refuge in the real world, the sanctuary of the soul. Abby will live here. Ray asks the maid to prepare dinner for 2 using the Book of Divine Power. With its help, you can create any objects. Ray will take Abby to the magic tower so that she can get the same book. After Ray and Abby left, reinforcements arrived at the Chu family estate. Terry Chu's wife and son must not be harmed. Perhaps Shadow found out about their plan to create a factory. There are signs of forced entry on the estate, but no one is there. It's similar to the Fox family situation. No living, no bodies. It was Shadow. He killed Laura and Nanya. The same thing happened to the Fox family. They were also killed by the Shadow. There was no evidence of his involvement. And now there are even more reasons not to blame him. Perhaps the Chu family had a grudge against Shadow. Kate doesn't dare doubt the military advisor of the capital of magic. Recently, the Tiankin Guild captured members of the Black Dragon Guild. After interrogation, they stated that the attack on Shadow's hideout was carried out on the orders of Terry Chu, and they also said that he planned to lure Shadow to the fireworks factory and kill him. The plan was to catch Terry red-handed at the factory. He is suspected of abuse of power and preparing a terrorist attack. Kate has conspired with a gang of bandits and is now trying to arrest an official. Officially, she is on the side of justice. If Terry is truly innocent, there is no point in making a fuss. He will be sent to the capital's prison for interrogation, where the rate of reduction in life expectancy increases 100-fold. The target has been found. It is Terry Chu, the military advisor of the capital of magic. It's time to get down to business. The order to arrest Terry came from the higher-ups, so stop complaining. Suddenly a blue flash flies into the windshield. The car crashes into a tree. Kate is stuck and can't move. Someone grabs Terry. The task is completed. The police demand that the man be released or they will shoot. They are being attacked. Killing Chinese dogs is a lot of fun. Now they will kill Shadow and avenge Cheryl Chiang. It's too early to leave. There's a mouse hiding in the car. A fireball flies towards the car. She explodes. Cheryl brought them much joy, and according to their Eastern traditions, they should honor her memory with revenge. These are the members of Alice's gang. The NPC who guards the Tower of Power is named Mom, after the Moon Queen Virginia. Before becoming a guardian, Virginia witnessed the murder of her children. She went crazy and refused to believe in their deaths, after which the quest to find her lost son and daughter became available to players. But it's impossible to accomplish. The only way to beat Virginia is to come to her with a team of a guy and a girl, so that she accepts them as her children. As soon as they enter, Abby should call her mom. She only needs to say this. Ray will handle the rest himself. Virginia appears. Finally, her children are back. She would have given them the divine book, but according to the rules of the tower, they must complete the task. They need to defeat the clone of their mother. Ray releases shadow clones. They defeated Virginia's clone with one blow. Lon and Anna have grown up so much. Especially Anna, she became a grown-up girl. Her mother gives her 9 divine books. She will endlessly meet players, mistaking them for her children. Then she must exchange her life for a divine book to finally rest in peace. Lon needs the divine book, the communication bracelet. In my mother's hands is a gift from God, and by giving it, she will also give her life. Ray gave 150 years of his life. Let Anna always be close to her brother. He will protect her. Ray is probably old enough to be Abby's brother. She asks how she should call him, master or brother. Anything but a brother. He refused so decisively. Perhaps there was some bad experience. Annie asks if Shadow can tell her who is on his friends list now. There's a serial killer on the loose in Shanghai, and rumors are swirling that Shadow is involved. Apparently Annie thinks that one of his friends might have set him up. He wants to take on the investigation himself. Abby needs to exit the game. There is a task for her. This is a communication bracelet that connects reality and the game world riding a wolf. Abby will go to Shanghai to find the killer. Someone made the time of the murders coincide with the time Ray entered the game. Abby has a touch skill that can track a person by their soul imprint. She is the best specialist in this field. The master relies on her. She must live up to expectations. Theodore has a visitor. He and Terry had a good conversation at the party last time. Theodore can't stand the injustice done to him. Terry asks if he works for the Shadow or the Chinese government. It doesn't matter. Everyone knows that the authorities and the Shadow wear the same pants. Terry's family is dead. They wanted to put him behind bars. He knows that Theodore needed him for a reason. Terry will help him find something he needs. He is a secret weapon who knows feng shui. This is not true. He is just an auxiliary tool that cannot even cope with the Shadow. It activates the harmony of yin and yang. This skill affects members of Alice's gang. They will fight until they drop, but this skill is ineffective on enemies above level 5. Their enemies are the government and the Shadow. There is no need for civil strife. Theodore deactivates Terry's skill. These two are pretty battered. This skill cannot be removed by simple cleansing. Theodore, the seer of the Guild of Priests. Abby found the killer's soul imprint. Someone is knocking on Sandy's apartment. She only said yesterday that she was selling it, and Molly has already found a buyer. This is a fortune teller. He will help Sandy find her brother. In 2 days, Molly is leaving and will no longer be able to be near her. The city authorities seized the church shelter. Molly was invited to join the guild, and she agreed. Sandy's brother is underwater. He abandoned her. His appearance will not change anything. She guards the Shadow's refuge. Sooner or later, Molly will realize that she is strong. Shadow is a stranger and will not be on Sandy's side. She doesn't want her brother to be looked for. Their meeting is fateful, so the fortune teller will not charge for the service. However, the result may not meet expectations. The fortune teller includes a celestial sign. A dark man swims in the depths of the sea. Unfortunately, Sandy's brother was burned alive and drowned at sea. Serves him right. He shouldn't have made fun of her. She mentioned the Shadow, and it just so happens that the seer knows its location. He takes Sandy to him. She just has to agree to the teleportation card. Ray will regret that he died so early. The diviner and Sandy teleport. It is he who should ask her where Shadow is. The soothsayer attacks Sandy. She must tell him everything she knows about the Shadow. Sandy doesn't know. She did say that she was guarding his gate. I wonder when she'll crack. The soothsayer had not killed anyone for 2 days. His knife was starved for blood. He can have fun as he wants. but he doesn't have to kill her whenever he wants. Then he will prolong the pleasure. Shadow has been offline for 2 days. Everyone considers him a murderer, and a little more and society will revolt. It's here. Abby activates invisibility. She looks into the room where the trail leads. The killer had not experienced such pleasure for a long time. If Ray had been here, he would have saved Sandy. Here someone heals her. She thinks that she will be saved now. The killer will introduce himself again. His nickname in the game is Butcher. He is a pastor by profession. He won't let Sandy die so quickly. Bringing a victim to the brink, and then finishing him off slowly, is the only way to call it a wonderful experience. Now he wants to skin Sandy. Here Abby attacks him. She asks why he kills people and frames Shadow. Let him say everything if he doesn't want to experience the pain of broken legs. Since they no longer report the time of Shadow's appearance online, the killings have stopped. But Shadow could very well be a sick maniac. They know he's not like that. And besides, the killer is acting too unpredictably, while Shadow is cold and calculating. The government wants to eliminate him to achieve humility. Of course, it cannot defeat the Shadow, otherwise it would lose a lot. Therefore, it is necessary to clear the name of the Shadow as soon as possible. It is necessary to look for a person from the top. There is a man in the city hall who has a grudge against Shadow. There has been no news from him for 2 days now. At this rate, the sick psycho would get carried away. Perhaps Annie has sniffed out everything. She is on the Shadow's side. Matthew will never get her unless he gets rid of him. For Annie's sake, he is willing to become China's enemy. Matthew receives a message from the Butcher. The prey is gone, and he needs 3 years of life to develop the tracking skill. Matthew can't let the plan fail. He comes to the Butcher's hideout. There he finds him hanging next to Sandy. Abby attacks, so it's Matthew who wants to harm her master. She knows he is the son of the mayor of Shanghai. He ordered the killing of people and put all the blame on Shadow. Let the Butcher fulfill his promise and show who was behind it all. And as a reward, Abby will let him enjoy it. She tells him to kill Matthew. He can use his favorite methods. Matthew fights back. He killed the Butcher. He wasn't going to come here unprepared. Since Abby was Shadow's apprentice, he would start with her. Matthew throws fire beams. Abby disappears. She attacks Matthew. He must tell who else is behind him. Matthew will tell everything. These are foreigners. They forced him to find the Shadow and kill him. He really doesn't know anything anymore. If Abby lets him go, his dad will do anything for her. He is a powerful man. Abby can get whatever she wants. The master said to never let your enemies go. The girl was left without legs, sadly. Whether she will survive or not depends on her. Police soon arrived at the scene following a tip from an anonymous source. A message was left here. These two acted together. Thereby they wanted to frame Shadow. There is evidence in their phones. The girl is a witness. Someone informed Matthew about the time of Shadow's entry into the game. We need to find this person immediately. Good news. The maniac problem has been solved. As expected, Matthew was involved. There is a victim who lost her legs due to torture. Annie is sorry that this matter has caused Shadow so much trouble. As a gift, she will tell something interesting. Flying monsters have appeared in the skies above Shanghai, hunting players, and Annie's team is unable to deal with them. The situation is the same as with the 7 bosses. Another ancient tablet appeared. It must be an air element. A flying vehicle is needed. Ray received the bone key in the falling tower, where he will be able to get a personal dragon. But for this, you need level 20, and he is at level 19. He logs in. Players battle a giant bubble-blowing shrimp. The spiritual wanderer's secret profession transports the player and their companions to the spirit world. Theodore, Zuma, and others worked together to pit the government against the people, and the failure to maintain public order led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. The boss will now enter the second phase. Blue balls appear. He summoned a bunch of his minions. Keith asks Zuma to use soul transmutation. Zuma doesn't move from his place. There are more and more monsters. They can't cope. One of them attacks Kate, but then the Shadow intervenes. He killed the Emerald boss. Now he is approaching Zuma. The Shadow blows off his head. I would like to know what a foreigner is doing on their team. They hired him because his hidden profession was needed to defeat the boss. They didn't think that at the critical moment he would be scared. It didn't look much like fear. If they encounter a boss they can't handle, they can turn to Shadow. He only needs exchange energy and assassin equipment. This only applies to bosses above platinum rank, and Shadow will have the right to distribute the loot. Kate will now inform the team about this. Finally, they will stop dying. Kate said that Shadow will be here soon. He must be a handsome guy. Nobody knows what he looks like. He's a pretty tough boss, but Shadow has killed Emerald rank bosses, and this one is platinum. The Shadow Blade cuts the monster in half. The giant Minotaur is dead. Time to move on. You can't get too close. The Emerald boss's attack range is twice as long as the platinum one's. Here the boss is cut by a purple flash. Shadow summoned clones. He killed the noble rebel Lulu. The difference between them and the Shadow is like the gap between people and gods. Shadow was able to quickly reach the required level. He gained the platinum assassin skill, allowing him to hide himself and his comrades with level 5 invisibility. The smoke bomb skill allows you to create a smoke screen that blocks the enemy's vision. Now Shadow can definitely go to the City of Skulls, but there is no boat or portal here. The sea is full of monsters, and Shadow doesn't have the skill to walk on water. There is a locked door on the coast. It's here. The gates are closed and can be opened with the Skull City key, so the key needs to be used here. The door is on the coast. It is unclear how it can lead to the opposite shore. The passage probably leads somewhere down. It seems Shadow understood everything. He arrived in the City of Skulls. Who would have thought that at the bottom of the sea there is a tunnel connecting the two shores? In a past life, some madman shouted about a tunnel in the sea, but no one believed him. A monster appears. This is the guardian of the City of Skulls, a centipede with 1,000 blades. The wounds on her body are the same as those of the white dragon. Perhaps this is the curse of Cthulhu. Judging by the scars on her upper body, she experienced inhuman torment during her life. The Shadow attacks. He killed the guardian of the City of Skulls. The next monster is a damn spider. The skeletons found here are mutilated beyond recognition. To win the war, the people of Marega called upon Cthulhu, and the ancient sea god placed a curse on the city. Another monster appears. This is a platinum-ranked city guard captain. The Shadow dodges the blow. He attacks. Damage dealt to Marin is returned to Shadow. His health is 10 times higher than normal, and he also reflects damage. If it weren't for the dark light shield, Shadow would already be dead. It is covered with 10 layers of shield. First, he uses weaker skills to prepare for the final blow. Now it's the turn of the Crimson Blade. The shield can now withstand up to 2.5 million units of damage. Shadow killed the captain of the city guard. The captain of the guard of the City of Skulls has died. All guards have been raised on alert. The Shadow caused a wave of monsters to appear. He killed 32 monsters with one blow. The way to the City of Skulls is open. The spheres of light that fell from the dead monsters formed a bridge leading into the city. Shadow granted freedom to the restless souls of the inhabitants of the City of Skulls and received their blessing. It seems the source of the curse is in the city, and they want the Shadow to destroy it. He comes to a big hole. This is the sewer of the City of Skulls. There, Shadow discovers a creature that looks like half man and half monster. The creature begins to say something. This is the language of an ancient god. He spoke the name of one of the slain monsters, Moiral. The creature is transformed. This is the last guardian of the City of Skulls. Shadow has 21st level invisibility, but he still sees him. Maybe it's because Shadow killed Moiral and took her life energy, and this monster can track it. And it also reflects damage. These eggs will likely hatch into elite minions. It takes 3 uses of the Shadow Blade to destroy an egg, meaning Shadow loses 3 layers of dark light shield on each egg. He won't be able to destroy all the eggs, so he'll have to fight those that hatch. These are damn snakes. The Shadow kills everyone. Here comes a new monster, Achilles. It turns out to be resistant to damage. Achilles deals a crushing blow. The shield breaks. As long as his people exist, the City of Skulls will stand. Only monsters of epic rank and above can talk, and he is Emerald rank. It sucks out the Shadow's life energy, and there is no way to defend against it. Shadow is found to have mastered the White Dragon Arthas's skill. He uses his power. Achilles cannot die. He must continue the dragon line. Because he summoned Cthulhu, they were all trapped in the curse. He must pay for what he did. Shadow killed the last guardian of the City of Skulls. The dragon's power dissipated, and thanks to the victory over the guardian, Shadow received 1,000,000 experience points. There are also additional rewards here. Shadow received a bone rune and a mountain bell. The king of hunters, Osiris, appears. Previously, he was the guardian of the city. With the help of necromancy, the inhabitants of Marega called him out of oblivion to protect themselves from enemies. Achilles, the head of the city, decided to resort to black magic and summoned Cthulhu. This had to be paid for with the life of the person he loved most. So Achilles decided to sacrifice his daughter, Moiral. However, at the last moment he abandoned this idea. Achilles saved Moiral and sacrificed all the city's inhabitants, including himself, in her place. They gained enormous power, but turned into monsters. Moiral was the only one who retained her human form, but she had no chance of survival. The monsters hated her, believing that she was the cause of their curse. The Shadow was able to bring peace to the souls of the city's inhabitants. Besides, he has a familiar smell. Osiris will always follow him. Let him say his name. His name is Shadow. Now Osiris will be his master. With his skills, he can use bone shields and spikes, but can also summon 12 emerald-rank pterodactyls. His body consists only of bones, so he is very light and can fly at a speed of 450 meters per second. It turns out that Shadow can improve his profession. It has been upgraded to rank 3, and a new hidden profession, Shadowlight, has been added. If Shadow reacts quickly enough, he will be able to repel any attack while invisible. In a past life, the one who had such a hidden profession could not live to receive this improvement. Shadow was also able to obtain a diamond weapon. He has invisibility level 21, higher than Osiris. He will see many more amazing things. Osiris flies out of the sewers. He really is very fast. First, you need to get to the ruins of the City of Magic, and then teleport to the City of Luck. The fake industry team fights the boss. Mary throws a fireball at him, but he flies back due to a sudden gust of air. It was some kind of hurricane. The monster himself ran into the sword and died. He was with that girl only once, and during that time he still thought about her. A passing whirlwind throws the lovers to the ground. It looks like they crashed into someone. Each time you teleport to a newbie city, its cost doubles. Apparently, these are representatives of the authorities. They seem to have realized that helping newcomers can be beneficial, and now even older players can survive here. A cry for help is heard. The player was grabbed by the monster. The girl covers the player with a shield. The guy attacks the monster. The girl throws a sacred fireball at him. However, the monster dodges. Even if you kill him, a new one will appear almost immediately. These are 5 golden monsters. Any squad connected to the authorities will be able to deal with them. The problem is that if you don't finish them off, they will simply fly away. These creatures have been flying here for several days now, which is why they cannot hunt monsters. They've already asked for help. Shadow will be here soon. He must be very busy. First of all, he must help his fellow countrymen. If they don't want to wait, they can exit the game and rest. They haven't dealt with the monsters outside yet. They're being paid taxes and they can't even protect them. They have already been pumped up to the 3rd level. Someone is beating an old man. The guy didn't even touch him. Not only do they not help them, but they also cripple them. The girl seems to be beating another old man. But it wasn't she who struck. The blow was so powerful that it threw the old man up. He died. The girl didn't hit him. Someone touched her. The old men threatened to kill them. They have gone crazy. A spit flies at the girl. He hits her, even though she is covered by a shield. Old people start throwing everything in sight. It's time to intervene. The old people crowded around the barrier are scattered in different directions. This is the Shadow. He's going to deal with the monsters. After the revival, the whole crowd came here again. They must have all the lost exchange energy returned to them. A monster falls from above. He fell right on the old people. Shadow only killed 5 bosses, but there's so much loot here. You can't drop such heavy objects from a height. The Shadow ignores the old woman. She snatches the tablet from him. She kills her. The Shadow tells Osiris to summon the bone dragons. They appear. The authorities have teamed up with the Shadow to rob pensioners. The old woman had 1,000 years of exchange energy, and Shadow stole it. This 1,000 years were given to the old woman by her son. If they help her get them back, she will give each of them a year of exchange energy. I just want to arrest them. Old people are captured by bone dragons. They lift them into the air, and then they let go. Players don't lose health points in this area, but no one said the laws of physics don't apply here. The bone dragons will throw out those who behave inappropriately from the city. The flying monsters have been destroyed. It is time for the Shadow to go. They can keep the rest of the loot for themselves. The Shadow is truly generous. The electric fox can also take whatever it wants. It seems that her heart went away with the Shadow. The guy throws a ball of energy at her. The Shadow would never pay attention to someone like her. The electric fox is like a toad trying to swallow a swan. He himself is a toad. Okay, he's a boy toad and she's a girl toad.